Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Trouble sleeping, your mind racing. So what do? We get help. There are people in our community who are here for us. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento.
Sacktown.
And welcome in
Grant Napear. How you been?
You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I know you're doing better than Domantas Sabonis. I know you're doing better than the Sacramento Kings, who are 12-32, who only gave up 77 in the first half last night to an average Miami Heat team who had played the night before. And I ask you, unfortunately, once again, because I've had to talk about this all too often this year, and I'm not just talking about this calendar year, I mean this basketball season, what the heck are the Sacramento Kings doing? Seriously, what are they doing? What's going on? First it was Keon Ellis, then Malik Monk, and now Domantas Sabonis? Really? This guy who's a warrior, a workhorse, a guy who has, from day one, exhibited exactly what you want in a player, until this year really had not been hurt, laces him up every day, plays with a torn ligament in his thumb, and oh yeah, by the way, he's arguably your best player. 3-time All-Star, should be 5. He's gotten screwed the last 2 years. He's injured. You don't play him in his first game back. I'm okay with that. Then he doesn't play in his second game back. I'm like, all right. And when I mean doesn't play, I mean start. He's playing coming off the bench. Then last night, when it's time to start Domantas Sabonis, not only doesn't he start, he only plays 17 minutes. 17 minutes. Doug Christie was asked, by the way, before the game, after game 2, about his situation, whether it was a minutes restriction, so on and so forth. He said, no, absolutely not. It's basically a coaching decision, and we'll get into that later in the program. How do you do this to Sabonis? Seriously. You did it to Monk and Keon Ellis. Ellis, I got to tell you, I got to put in a different category than Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis. And I'm not doing that in a negative fashion. I'm not doing that to demean Keon in any way, shape, or form. I'm just going to keep this right now to Malik Monk and the Domantas Sabonis. These are two guys that bought in, invested in Sacramento, have exhibited everything you want in players. I can go right on down the list. They both have the 6 qualities that Scott Perry has laid out in his principles of what he wants a Sacramento King to be. That would be Malik Monk. That would be Domantas Sabonis. Check all the boxes. And yet this is where you treat these guys? How do you think that plays in a locker room? What do you think DeMar DeRozan thinks when he sees this? What do you think Zach LaVine is thinking? What do you think Russell Westbrook thinks when he sees this? I know exactly what they think. Get me out of this clown show. And then what about the impact that it has on your young players, your rookies? Is this what you want them to experience early on in their NBA career? This is how you treat the vets? Why would anyone in their right mind want to play for the Sacramento Kings? And I'm being brutally honest here. Seriously? That's how you treat your vets? What are you doing? You know, and Scott Perry has his 6 core principles, the values that he wants, and one of them is professionalism. Maybe the Kings ought to follow their own principles, because this is not professional conduct by an organization. This is embarrassing. You're 12-32, and you're making an example to the rest of the team using Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis. Are you freaking kidding me? You can't be serious. And it just goes on. And this clown show, which is what it has become, just continues. I mean, it's unbelievable. Seriously. Here's how you win games, Doug Christie. And by the way, he's been very open on it on the postgame shows. When they lose, it's not good enough. You know, the goal is to win. We're trying to win. We're trying to find the right combination, blah, blah, blah. Here's a little message for you, Doug. If you really want to win, put your best players on the floor. That's how you win. You win by putting your best players on the floor. Now, I'm fully aware of a youth movement going on and the mix and the match, and I get all of that. But you're not going to win without having Malik Monk on the floor and without Domantas Sabonis on the floor when they're available to play. That's how you win games. You don't win games and you don't have a good locker room by jerking around your vets who are consummate professionals and, oh yeah, by the way, are among your best players. That's not how you win. And if anyone should know that, it's the head coach of the Kings from his playing experience. But yet, he has no concept to this. The organization has no concept to this. And it is a joke. You think Sabonis wants to be in Sacramento right now? Are you kidding me? You think Monk wants to be in Sacramento after the way he's been dealt with this year? You think Keon Ellis, now I will include him, wants to be in Sacramento going forward after this year? Really? You think DeMar DeRozan wants to stay through this mess, or Zach LaVine, or many other guys on the team? Heck no. A joke. And you know what? The fans are starting to say goodbye. Last night, the attendance announced 11,381. Yep. They're like, no more. That's where you want the Sacramento Kings to be, right? 12-32, worst net rating in the Western Conference. And yet, let's use Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis, and let's jerk them around and not play them. That's right. Let's not put our best players on the floor. Last night, during the postgame show, I asked Jerry Reynolds more about this. This is what Jerry had to say.
Tonight's game, really, size wasn't as much a factor as speed and changing ends of the floor. And as you point out, I mean, Ellis had been really good there. And I you know, to Grant's point, I mean, I really do think it's one of those things to me, probably from the simple stand, you know, still the old thing, get your best players on the floor to start. Now, you can always adjust as you go, because in truth, it probably isn't to the Kings' advantage to win a lot of games at this stage.
Sure,
but
exactly.
But I mean, to you know, go ahead and get your best players out on the floor, and then you can adjust around that as you go in the game to sprinkle your younger guys in that you want to develop. And
Yeah.
so I just think it's as Grant's saying, it's sending a mixed message that probably isn't even mixed.
Oh, it's not mixed. You know why I know it's not mixed? I've been there before. I've been behind the scenes for decades. I know exactly what's going on in the locker room, and I don't even have to be in there to know because I've already been in the locker rooms of these situations before. And I can tell you right now, it is an absolute bad, bad place to be. That's what I can tell you. And I can tell you that the players are rolling their eyes. And I can tell you that amongst themselves, when they talk, they're like, can you freaking believe this? That's what's going on. And I can also guarantee you, because I've been there before, that the players have told their agents, get me out of here. Do whatever you have to do. Get me out of here. That's what's going on. That's great. That's the 6 core values that you want to have in your locker room. Get me out of here. You ought to add that to your list, Mr. Perry. You're the general manager of this team, and you are allowing this to go on. You're allowing this to go on. You're allowing the organization to use the 2 guys, Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis. You're using them as the examples to follow your 6 core principles. No, you're not. You're destroying the fabric and the culture that you're trying to create within the locker room. You're being counterproductive to what you want. That's what you're doing. And you're sending a message to your locker room. This is a clown show. And you're basically forcing your players to go play elsewhere with the edict that they're giving to their agents of get me out of here. It is a joke. Seriously. It is awful. It's embarrassing. It's not the right way to conduct your basketball team. It's just not. It's wrong. Domantas Sabonis. Really? Really? A multiple-time All-Star. He's given you every single thing he's had to this franchise. Played through injuries. Didn't want to sit out. If he can play, he's going to play. Unfortunately, he's not playing tonight, and that's not his decision. This nonsense, back-to-back, knee injury management. What a bunch of crap that is. It's not his decision. It's wrong. It's flat out wrong. What do you have to say about this? Give me a call. 916-779-0929. Before I get to calls, I'm just going to say this. I've been in enough bad locker rooms. I know what it's like. I know what goes on. They're all the same. And when it becomes bad, oh boy, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than getting on the bus, going to practices. Nothing worse than being on that bus on the way to a game or after a game, after a loss. It's the worst. Getting off the plane, walking on the hotels at 2 a.m, talking to the guys, seeing their despair, seeing their mood, their frame of mind. It's the worst. It is awful. Been there, lived it. That's going on right now. Lewis.
Go.
Lewis in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, now. Oh, gosh darn it. I'm going to have to. Gosh darn, Grant. I don't know what you're doing with me. I got to cancel a whole phone call. Got it.
You want me to put you back on hold?
Got it. Nope. No, sir. I'm right here with you. Okay. No, you know what? I'm fascinated because the bonus. Oh my gosh, I'm canceling that one too. Get out of there. The bonus and Levine, they're $100 million on our books. We just won 4 games in a row without them playing, kind of, right? So here's what good Lord. here's what I have to say about that is just I love Sabonis, and I don't like what's going. Why, for God's sake, Doug? Why wouldn't you start him? Right? For God's sake, why wouldn't you? I don't understand it. I do understand. I do like what the rookie's been doing. I do like what Eubanks has been doing. I like what we've been getting from the center position. I'm not sure if the bonus is matching his $50 million on that, but the respect, obviously you start him, man. Come on, what are you doing? Got it.
Not only did he
The
not
thing
start, he
with
only
Ellis,
played 17 minutes last night. You barely used him. It's a joke.
yeah, why? Lord help me. So here's what I see. Here's what I see, and Sabonis, he's he's a center who he's a point center, for lack of a better term. When he's at his best, he's controlling the offense. But actually now, when we just had Fox, the truth is we didn't have a point guard because Fox isn't a playmaker. The only playmaker we had was Malik, right? But and so then we really relied on what Sabonis was doing, and it was successful. But some teams don't. Some teams need that. Some teams don't. Not sure if this is a team right now that needs a point center to run their offense. I'm not sure, right? Then you've got other layers of what you've been talking about, like what's going on with Malik. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Yeah, I'm right here. Lord help me, man. Why, Lord? Why wouldn't Malik is man? Malik's been the best, one of the best. He's been one of the best 5 players on the team for the last 4 or 5 years.
No
However
question.
long he's been on the team,
Yep.
he's been one of our best 5 players, but we've either chosen to take him off the bench or whatever. You
Or
said
not play
something,
him.
Grant, and it's real.
Yeah.
You said something, Grant, and it's real. You said, Doug, if you want to win, bro, play your best 5 players. Start there.
It's a joke.
Please, Lord. Please, Lord, if we could just start there, playing our best 5 players. So then that's where it gets interesting. Who are our best 5 players? And
Well,
Sabonis,
I'll tell you
to me,
right
is
now, I know
one of our
Sabonis
best
is one of
5.
your best 5,
Sabonis is
and I
one
know
of our
Malik
best
Monk's
5.
one of your best 5.
Yep, there you go.
Thank you, buddy.
Them, so neither one's of them started recently.
Appreciate you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Man, I love you, man. All right.
Love you too, bud. Good luck with your business.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Yes, sir. I gotta take my calls, man. I dropped some calls on you. I love you.
Go for it. 916-779-0929. He's one of the few people that could make me laugh right now. Seriously. I want to get into this because I've lived it before. And I'm just telling you right now, if you think things look bad right now, you watched that game last night, I'm going to tell you what happened last night. All right? What happened last night is a domino effect to everything that I just talked about. That's what the result of last night was, a domino effect of everything that I'm talking about. Because the players in that locker room know that Sabonis is being treated like a piece of dirt, and that does not sit well with the other players on the team. Hey, folks, listen up. If you've been waiting to buy a home, then you got to be prepared to act soon for what's about to happen in the real estate market. The expected Fed rate cuts is going to renew the housing market demand. Buyers will flood the market. Bidding wars will happen. Homes are going to sell quickly, and you need to get your ducks in a row. And the best way is to start with a guy that's very experienced, and I'm talking about broker owner Spencer Grimmenstein from Village Financial Group. Spencer's white glove service, it's a boutique experience. It's a one-stop shop method that makes it so easy. Here's the bottom line. Spencer's going to navigate you through the process from start to finish. He has extensive home listings at bfgloans.com. You can check them all out yourself, okay? They're throughout Northern California. He has 30-year mortgage brokering experience. He will get you the best rates. And here's something else you need to keep in mind. He also has access to private money to help you. All right? So what does that mean? It's going to expedite getting your offer accepted and closed. Hey, it makes sense to call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Sorry about that. I just had a power surge here. 916-805-4868. Thank you, Lights, for coming back on. Again, call Spence at Village Financial Group or text them at 916-805-4868. That's Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. What do you think, folks, about what I just said? I'd love to hear from you. Text the show, call the show, 916-779-0929, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrude Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrude's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrude's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrude's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrude's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabruds. Gubruds. Gabruds.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Again, 916-779-0929 from the text line, the 530. Grant, the Kings are either tanking or don't want to play good players so they don't get hurt so they can trade them. I know you don't agree. You're wrong on both, but thank you for the text message. They're not trying to tank. It's pretty obvious by Doug Christie and the players that he does use at the end of games, which I don't agree with, but at least he's not trying to tank. And as far as trading, not getting players hurt, then you wouldn't play them even a minute. So that's not true at all. Just not. Grant, I can't wait for the tell-all book. It's written by whomever on the worst owner in sports, Vivek in the front office. It's going to be popcorn time. I think I just gave you an idea, Grant. I've been open. I have been approached about writing a book, and I'm waiting until the conclusion of my lawsuit to make that decision. So, again, 916-779-0929. Ryan, we talked about this at length on the postgame show last night and many other postgame shows about rotations, about minutes, and I just don't understand how you can treat Domantas Sabonis this way. I just don't. It just does not make sense, especially when Doug Christie was asked whether he was on a minutes restriction the other night, and he said no.
Yeah, now he's rest management after 16 minutes. You're almost better off DNPing him than playing him 16 minutes off the bench.
Yes, agreed.
And it wasn't just Domas. You mentioned it as well. Zach LaVine had it going early in the game. 4 of 5 in the first quarter, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. Grant, this is what it circles back to, and we talked about it on the post-game show last night. This was going to be your worst-case scenario, signing Russell Westbrook if, which he is, your second leading scorer, leading you in rebounds, assists, and three-pointers. That means that
And what about minutes played? He's got to be up there in minutes played, too. I haven't even looked at that, but he's got to be right up there in that category as well.
Certainly, because that means the development, the other guys. That's taking minutes away from somebody else. And you would think logically, okay, well, he's back up to Schroeder. Well, if Schroeder's not playing well, then he's not going to get the minutes. No, Doug has played those two together so much. But back to Zach LaVine, he only played 5 minutes in the second half. And the Kings really made no effort to get him into it. And I thought it was unfair of Doug and the explanation he gave about Zach's minutes after the game.
You know, sometimes, you know, he was 7 for 10, so obviously shot the ball well. But, you know, we're trying to find rhythm and find a group that is stopping people at the same time. So, you know, Zach will come tomorrow and he'll probably have 40. So that's part of the business. Like some nights you'll have it offensively, but we didn't have a great problem scoring tonight. We had 117 points, but guess what? They had 130. So we need to stop somebody.
So you're blaming Zach LaVine? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, Zach LaVine's defense was no worse last night than Russell Westbrook's.
Oh, my God.
Whatsoever. Russ quit on a play where he was beat one-on-one, 2 minutes left in the first half. Doug called a timeout right after that, but left him in the game. So you're going to put Zach on an island, say it was his defense, but then because you were looking for defense, Grant, you don't play Keon Ellis with 2 other ball handlers on the court?
All right, you in the numbers because you're in the analytics.
Yes.
And I know that sometimes this is not the tell-all. Among your 5 starters last night, you know who had the best plus-minus? Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
-3. DeRozan was -19. Westbrook was -13. Achua was -9. Rayno was -6. That's right, Zach LaVine, because you want to play better defense after giving up 77 points in the first half. When he was on the floor, -3. DeRozan -19, played 35 minutes last night. Now, again, you got to be careful using these numbers too much over a small sample size, but I am just making the point, okay? It's a joke. All right, do I think Christie has talked to Sabonis and LaVine on playing time like they have an understanding internally? Folsom Mike. Well, I don't know the answer to that completely, but I would say no. There is not an understanding internally, and I would tell you that if I had to put a large sum of money down in front of me, I would wager that both Sabonis and LaVine have told their agents, get me the hell out of here, okay? And that they are not being dealt with in the way that they feel they should be dealt with. And what's going on currently with Sabonis is a joke. There's no excuse for it. Go ahead, Rhino.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. We asked Jerry last night, if you're Domas, are you embarrassed?
Well, it probably wasn't his first 2, but it was tonight. I mean, I think that's the point there. And I think that's like with Malik. I think he handled it very well. I think Ellis has probably handled it better than most players. I give the guys credit, but the truth is, it's you know, there's no way a an athlete that's had a lot of success in their careers, like Domas or Monk, that's not setting well with them, regardless of how well they handle it publicly.
And
no, it's not. And it's not sitting well with the other players in the locker room who are looking around going, what is going on here? I know, I've been there. I'm just telling you, I know the fabric of a locker room. The talk in that locker room is very bad right now.
Grant, if we go by what Malik Monk said when this happened to him, he said that Doug simply casually said, we're going to try something new. That was it. So to answer the question, if we use that as an example, that was the communication when Malik was frozen out of the rotation.
There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to doing things. And in my opinion, the Kings are going about things the wrong way. And you want to talk about having a culture, which is what Scott Perry has talked about with his 6 principles and the things that he lists. The Kings themselves, okay, the organization, forget about the players for a minute, beginning with the coach, they're not exhibiting, they're not following the principles, in my opinion, that they have laid out that are so important to them. It doesn't make sense.
No, it
doesn't make sense.
Doug last night asked about the rotation.
You're trying to find that energy group that's bringing the energy at a really high level. We want to be physical and make sure that we're being handsy, keeping people in front of us like that. That's the most important aspect of it. And tonight they got away, obviously knocked down a lot of threes tonight, 50% from the 3-point line. Most nights in our league, you're gonna win a game. But yeah, it's difficult trying to find that rhythm of who's bringing that energy and finding a group that is working really well together and exploiting what the opposition is showing you.
It is difficult because you're not playing your best players, so that does become more difficult. Got to love the handsy Kings, boy. Got to love the handsy Kings, who have the worst net rating in the Western Conference, who play defense like they're matadors. Yeah, you got to love the handsy Kings, boy. They're really fun to watch. Last night, the handsy Kings only gave up 77 in the first half to a team that's so-so, and a team in the Miami Heat that had played the night before, and they come in. That's right. The Miami Heat last night, when the play started, were only 1 game over 500, and it played the night before. But their opponent was the handsy Kings without their best players on the floor, and so they took full advantage of it. That's what happened. And what about the attendance announced at just over 11,000?
That's coming off of 4 or 5 games that you won, too. Here's the other, if we want to peel the Sabonis onion back a little bit, the other sad part is all he wanted was a point guard. That's what he asked for.
Yep.
What is this point guard during his exit interview? And instead, you bring him 2 scoring guards.
Yep. I'm with you. Let's get to some phone calls. We say hello to Bob in Citrus Heights. Hello, Bob.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Bob. Thank you.
I think it's an age problem. I know that Jerry Reynolds is having trouble figuring it out. I'm having trouble, and we are the same age. I think that we are too old to understand what the devil is going on. We've never seen a team run like this before, and, Doug is still trying to find combinations that he likes that will do certain things. He's had the team in games for half the season. I would think he'd know by now who he can count on for certain circumstances and what combinations would help, would be his best combination. But I don't know. I'm so old. I'm convincing myself I'm too old to understand it, because there is nothing understandable to me that's going on this year with the Kings.
I agree with you 100%. And I don't think it has anything. Hey,
okay.
Bob, It's not your old age. It's you have a lot of common sense. Jerry's got a lot of common sense. It's called
I
common
know
sense.
Jerry does. I don't think he's affected with the old age as much as maybe. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Beyond
Thank you, Bob.
me.
Appreciate it.
I
You
have
take
one
care.
quick question.
Yes, go ahead,
If
Bob.
they're going to trade someone with a huge contract like Levine, in baseball they can pay quite a bit of the contract they can pay Levine's contract, for example, a lot of it, and the new team doesn't have to pick up as much. Can you do that in basketball?
Yeah, but it's still.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Can you do that in basketball? Because everybody says, well, you don't want to
Bob. Thank you. Here's the deal, Bob. You can't compare it to baseball because of the aprons and the situation of the salary cap with the team. So that's not a yes or no question. Each team would be different. In some cases, yes. 916, 44 games in, and you don't know which group brings the best energy. This is a joke, Doug. How about this from the 209? Last night, my 8-year-old son asked me why Sabonis wasn't playing. I said, I don't know. And he said, isn't he the best player on the Kings? My 8-year-old son could be a better coach. 253. Doug is full of blank. He is all talk, no actions. It is too much talk. Yap, 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 yap. There's no rhyme or reason to what's going on. And I know he's in a very difficult situation, and I've acknowledged that. And I get that. But you can still mismanage a bad situation. You can still make a bad situation worse. And that's what's going on. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the Kings play another game tonight against the Toronto Raptors, who, what did they put, 145 up on the board last night in Golden State against the Warriors. So tonight they'll probably score 95 points instead of 145. That's life in the NBA. We'll come back. We'll continue this. Don't forget Sean Salisbury after Grant's Rant today at 5 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Tired of the same old routine? Need a place where the beer flows and the good times roll? Then head to Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Family owned and operated, so you know you'll feel right at home. Catch all your favorite games on 18 big screens while enjoying amazing food. And with 28 beers on tap, you're sure to find something you love. And don't miss everyday happy hour from 3 to 7 and again from 10 till close. Looking for more than just the game? Trivia Tuesday starts at 7 p.m. And there's Mario Kart and bingo nights for even more fun, too. There's always a blast happening at Fieldhouse. Whether you're looking for a place to watch the game, grab a bite with the family, or just unwind with friends, Fieldhouse is the place to be. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Bring it to the house.
Are your lights flickering more than a disco ball? Tired of your office coffee maker and server room fighting over that one working outlet? Call the pros who keep the juice flowing. Elite Power Inc. Elite Power Inc. is the commercial and industrial electrical contractor who takes your power and lighting seriously so you don't have to. Elite Power Inc. handles everything from rewiring ancient office buildings to installing cutting-edge control panels in factories. Their IBEW 340 electricians have more certifications than your printer has error messages. And they promise not to judge your breaker panel's creative labeling. Get plugged in with Elite Power Inc., where sparks fly, but only in a good way. Professionally trained technicians, 24-hour electrical service, maintenance, and repair. Project estimating, the knowledge and skill for any commercial or industrial need. Call 916-739-1580. That's 916-739-1580, or go to elitepower.com.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Hey, it's Grant Napear from my friends at DAS Mechanical. Did you know most homeowners are changing their heating and air systems from gas to all electric? It's about getting more energy efficiency and saving a lot more money every month on energy bills. If your current heating and air system is 15 years or older, it may be time to consider a change. Call DAS Mechanical first. Nearly all of DAS's work is gas to electric whole system changeouts. Nick and his team, they're experts. They also have 0% financing and 24/7 availability if you ever have a heating emergency. Award-winning, locally owned. It's DAS Mechanical, serving their Sacramento and Placer County neighbors for years. Save more on your energy bills. Call, text, or chat at 530-591-1055 to find out more, or go to dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
916-779-0929. 253 weighing in. Doug needs to go back and do Ford commercials. That's where he qualifies more than being a coach. 530. Hey, Grant, last night I was offered 2 free lower-level tickets on Section 115. I did not accept them. I can't go and support the Kings at all. I'm not going to buy any drinks. I'm not going to buy any popcorn. I'm not going to buy any food. Doug is a joke. He's making bad decisions, and he's ruining his reputation, in my opinion. On our YouTube channel, Fox Sports Sacramento. Question: how on earth can Grant say he knows for sure they are not tanking on purpose? There is no other explanation for not playing our best players. Well, they had just won 4 games in a row, and in those games, they had their quote-unquote best players on the floor, including Malik Monk, at the end of games. And it's very apparent that Doug's trying to win games. It's very apparent based on what he says at the end of games. And I know Doug well enough to know when it's direct and sincere and when it's not. And they're not trying to lose games on purpose. Trust me, they're just not. They're not. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And after tonight, the Kings will head to the other side of the country. It will be time to pack your winter clothes because they're going to see some bitter, cold weather, which will coincide with their play. They go to Cleveland, then Detroit, the Knicks, Philadelphia, Boston, and Washington. So, tomorrow, morning flight to the Mistake on the Lake, Detroit, then the Knicks, then Philly, and then the next evening, Boston. So you have one back-to-back on this road trip. It's next Thursday and Friday. Philly on Thursday, Boston on Friday. Then you wrap up the road trip Sunday in Washington. And you look at this road trip, well, again, you can't even talk about wins and losses right now because you're 12-32. But I'm just more, because the reason why I'm talking about this is that week that the road trip concludes, that week is the trade deadline on Thursday, February 5th. And you only have one game between the 1st and the 5th, and that's a home game against Memphis. And then after the trade deadline, there are a pair of back-to-back games at home with the Clippers and Cleveland, the Cavaliers. And then the schedule, you get to the All-Star break the following week. So that's your schedule. A home game tonight and a homestand that really started off well with a win against Houston, the Lakers, the Knicks, Washington. Came to a screeching halt against Portland. And then last night, just a I don't even know how to explain last night. 77 points allowed in the first half. And the Kings lose and taking on a Toronto team that played last night as well. Toronto, boy, did they go off last night. Wow. What a performance. 145-127 over the Golden State Warriors. I heard Steve Kerr say that he believes that his roster is set so much better this year, and they've got the pieces to continue playing at the level without Jimmy Butler. He's delusional. It's not happening.
What are you going to say?
I understand, but I mean, he went overboard on it last night. He went a little overboard. By the way, Jonathan Kuminga last night did play off the bench. He played 21 minutes and scored 20 points on 10 shots. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah. Interesting. The minutes played last night, 39 minutes for Barnes, 36 for Ingram, who's a Kings killer, 34 for Quickly, 30 for Sheed, and 23 for Dick. I looked at the injury report for tonight. You mentioned this, and I have talked about this, but you talked about it, and then I mentioned it as well. Sabonis is being rested tonight. Left knee injury management. You buying that?
No, not at all. The Kings do not bring somebody back unless they are ready to go. They never rest players for management. And coming off a game where you played 16 minutes, management?
I'm with you. Yep.
Here's the other thing. Precious is questionable as well. You'd really like to have him out there tonight because of Brandon Ingram, who you said is an all-Kings killer. Grady Dick has given the Kings problems in the past as well.
Yep.
So
they're without R.J. Barrett. He's been out. Jakob Poeltl back. He's been out. So, but yeah, you're right. Yep.
You want to talk about a positive really quick?
Sure.
Nick Clifford looked really good last night.
Okay. Well, he better look good tonight because I've seen him look good before, and then he disappears.
Part of being a rookie. I think he knows, and we've talked about roles. He is getting more consistent minutes. He's usually one of the first guys off the bench. He talked about building his confidence some last night.
Yeah, I think, I definitely have to be more aggressive and be ready to, shoot, drive, or just make a play, especially when Debo's getting, double teamed, or Domas, guys like that are getting double teamed. So they are making other guys make plays like myself. So I definitely got to be ready to do that. And, I work on my game so much. I'm confident in myself. I know the shots will fall, and I know I'm capable of making the right plays. So I just got to continue to buy into that, and I'm getting more and more comfortable as I play more.
We'll see how many minutes he gets tonight. Question from the text line. How did your kids get started in sports? Is it as simple as signing them up? I have a 6, 4, and 2-year-old. Well, your 2-year-old and 4-year-old, you're not going to be able to get them going, I don't think, in terms of like signing up. You can 6-year-old maybe, and I can't even remember how old you have to be for a T-ball, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, you would, I think, have a much better understanding of, do they show any interest at that age over a particular sport? My kids did, both at that age. So, yeah, that's the way I would say sign them up. And the key is make sure they have fun. Without, we lose our perspective on youth sports, and it's not all about winning. The number one thing should be have fun. That's what I always preach with my kids when they played. Have fun. You're not going to be playing in college in all likelihood, although you could. You're not going to be playing professional sports in all likelihood, although you could. And then you're going to look back and you're going to go, man, it's over. Have fun. Enjoy it. We've unfortunately lost our sight of what the purpose of sports is. And the first reason why you play sports is because you enjoy it, because it's fun, right? I mean, why do you go play golf? Now, you could say, well, gee, my golf game is anything but fun, but you get the point. You look forward to it.
To get away from the house.
Yeah.
Have a cold beverage.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's like at the end of the day, especially with youth sports, always focus on to make sure that they're having fun. And I think, especially at that age, a lot of that falls on the coaches to make sure that the kids are having fun. That's paramount. That's what I always try to get across.
And we talk about this all the time with athletes, over specialization. Let them play whatever they want to play. Encourage them to play multiple sports. And even if they're really good at one, encourage them to try another. Because some of the best athletes, they were year-round athletes playing different sports.
No question about that. Hey, I want to tell you about my friends at DAS Mechanical. I learned this a couple of months ago. I was not aware that most homeowners are changing their heating and air systems from gas to all electric. Bottom line, you want to become more energy efficiency, right? You want energy efficiency, and you want to save really every month you want to save money on energy bills. Who doesn't? Well, if you have a system, your heating and air system is 15 years or older, you know what? It may be time to consider a change. Call DAS Mechanical. Get in touch with them because nearly all of DAS's work is gas to electric whole system changeouts. Nick Delancey, the owner, and his team, they're experts at this. This is what they do. And they also have 0% financing available. Keep that in mind. And 24/7 availability if you have a heating emergency. Award-winning, locally owned, family-owned, DAS Mechanical, serving their Sacramento and Placer County neighbors for years. Go to dasmechanical.org, D as in dog, A, S as in Sam, mechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org. Book everything online. Check out all of their 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards. That's dasmechanical.org. This from the 916. Kids want to win too. They can count, and they don't have fun when they continue to lose. Well, you see, I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you 100%. You can have fun when you lose, and I know that because I played sports all my life. I played organized sports all my life. I played football. I played lacrosse. I played hockey. And until I was in 8th grade, basketball. And the reality is that there is no substitute for competition, in my opinion. And when you play a sporting event and you compete well, and you lose, it can still be fun. Okay? You can still have fun even though you lose. So I completely disagree 100%. I lost games in high school and college, and I enjoyed playing the games. And just because I lost didn't mean I didn't have fun competing and didn't have fun playing the game. So I totally disagree with you. You can lose and still have fun. The essence of playing sport is because you enjoy it. Because the reality is you can't really be good at anything if you don't enjoy it. Sports, too. If you don't enjoy playing, you're not going to have fun and you're not going to want to do it and you won't be able to reach your goals. All right? You can't do it. Just like anything in life. You succeed in things that you like doing. It has a drive for you. It's an interest in you, a passion in you. It's like John Harbaugh said it best at his introduction yesterday as the head coach of the New York Giants. When he was asked about what type of player that does he really want, what are the characteristics that he's looking for? And he said, I want guys that love playing football. I want guys that are all about football. That's their passion, that they love playing. There are some players that love playing than more. Their passion. I thought that was spot on. Now, you don't find players in the NFL that hate playing football or don't enjoy it really, but there are others that just have that burning sensation, desire, passion to be the first one in the building, to maximize all their workouts, can't wait to get the pads on, can't wait to compete, can't wait to play football. That's what John Harbaugh wants. Sean Salisbury was like that too, and he's going to be coming on right after Grant's rant at 5 o'clock. 916-779-0929, the number to text the show. Call the show right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We've got great news for vehicle owners, regardless of what you drive, here at Downtown Ford Sacramento. For a limited time, bring your car or truck to Downtown Ford. We'll beat any major tire store's prices on a set of world-class Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. Then we'll kick you down an $80 mail-in rebate. And that goes for any car or truck you drive. You'll get the best deal anywhere on Michelin or BF Goodrich tires installed by our top-notch service team, plus an $80 rebate. That's how we operate here at Downtown Ford. We've been selling Fords for over 100 years, and we've learned some things. Rule number 1 is to put the customer first. Treat customers right, and they come back. That's our formula, and it's why we were chosen as a Car Guru's top dealership for 2025. We are Downtown Ford Sacramento. Come see us on Howe Avenue. Online at downtownfordsacramento.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
I don't know if you saw this story coming out of Los Angeles. ESPN put out a story citing team sources about Jeannie Buss. Did you see that story? And it was very interesting. And LeBron James responded that Jeannie Buss is kind of the tone of the article is that she has soured on LeBron James and privately complained about the control that LeBron James and his agent, all right, and we've heard so much about agents in sports, and you would certainly be able to relate to this with Rich Paul from Clutch Sports. As a matter of fact, Rich Paul was on a podcast. I think he was on with Max Kellerman and the Rich Paul podcast, right? And there were a lot of comments coming out of this. Ryan, I don't know if you saw this story or not, but it's pretty interesting because Jeannie Buss has always been a fixture down in, obviously, Southern California and with the Lakers and blah, blah, blah. But Jeannie Buss, according to ESPN, was not happy with James' reaction to the Lakers taking his son, Bronny, with a second-round pick. Paul said it was nonsense. He said, quote, when these types of articles come out, people want to take the clickbait. You'll see stuff floating around and floating around and floating around. And it's going back to this is why I created the whole thing about being unbothered. You've got to be unbothered by this type of stuff. I am. It's like whatever. But it's just interesting that this is a story that ESPN has put out. All right. And LeBron James, Rich Paul just said, blank, who gives an S? But he said he was unbothered by new claims that Jeannie Buss is basically is no longer a fan of LeBron James.
LeBron's like Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Like you get about 4 or 5 years.
Jim or John?
With him. Jim. He's
Okay.
like Jim Harbaugh. You get 4 or 5 years of him, and it's just you've hit your limit because of everything that comes with it, different personality, the power struggle at times. But Rich Paul, he's caused a fair amount. Just what, Grant, 2-3 weeks ago, the podcast you're referencing where he brought up the Austin Reeves possible trade for Jaren Jackson Jr., you know, they like to play the game and they need to be able to play it both ways. Let's just put it that way.
Interesting. You mentioned Jim Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator, to hook up with Jim in the Chargers. Here's the other interesting story that came out, and John Lynch was quoted about this, the general manager for the 49ers, after the injury-plagued season that they had. And there's been a lot of stories about the electrical substation near their training facility at Levi's Stadium and whether or not that is contributing to the injuries. This is what John Lynch said. Because it deals with allegedly the health and safety of our players, I think you have to look into everything. We've been reaching out to anyone and everyone to see, does a study exist other than a guy sticking an apparatus underneath the fence and coming up with a number that I have no idea what that means? That's what we know exists. We've heard that debunked. The health and safety of our players is of the utmost priority. We pour into it. Our ownership, Jed, is tremendous in terms of resources and will always be cognizant of things. I know that a lot of games have been won at this facility since it opened, but yeah, we aren't going to turn a blind eye. So, I don't have any knowledge on this. I'm not even going to throw my hat into the ring on whether this could happen or not, other than this has been completely debunked and shot down by multiple doctors, medical professionals, and scientists. All right. So I think it could be a coincidence, but the Niners' injury issues have been rather numerous and significant. So why not look into it, right? John Lynch said, we're always looking into trends, data, everything we do. Our health and performance of our players is the utmost priority each and every year. This year it was tough, and it took a toll on our team, and will continue to look. We spent a lot of time and effort in recruiting really quality people, and I think being at the forefront of injury prevention, and I think this year probably because the star players that went down, there was a lot of attention given on that. So is there an electrical substation near Golden One Center? I mean, isn't it just, it's just one of those years where you have a lot of injuries? Do you have to really, look behind the curtain, so to speak? Or is it just like, hey, it's one of those things, Ryan, this is just called bad luck?
Well, maybe it's the beam, Grant. It could be the beam.
The beam, maybe, but the beam hasn't been lit very much.
No, it is not. It's true. I mean, none of the players have gone off the rails like Ayuk, so we can rule that out. Although, arguably, somebody should have by this point.
Yep. So, do you think they're going to come up with anything of substance when they look into this electrical substation? And I would say, just based on the reports from various scientists and people in the medical profession, that there is no, I guess, well, all right. So let me ask the question this way. Okay. Would you, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Would you buy a home that are right underneath or very close to power lines? You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Would you? Would that persuade you to go buy somewhere else?
Depends how it would be more of a visual consideration than it would be a health consideration.
Okay. Agreed with you. Yes.
I think
very well stated.
I think they'll come up with something, but I don't think it's going to be anything of substance. You know how we're constantly learning new things that are bad for you. It's something new every year.
Yes, exactly. And then what was bad for you ends up being good for you. And then a couple of years later, oh, no, we were wrong. It was bad for you, as we initially said. Then 5 years later, hey, we've got a new study. It's not as bad as we thought. Yes, it happens all the time. Yep, it happens all the time. But there have been, would you say, an inordinate amount of injuries for the Sacramento Kings this year? I mean, just look at them. Look at all the injuries.
I don't know that I don't know that I can say that there have, because this team's been pretty healthy. Their injuries have just, in the past couple of years, come at bad times. It's not like they had guys dropping like flies. I think there's been more injuries to important players this year. But think about Lyles last year. He typically had something going. Think about Sasha Volankov a couple of years ago.
Here's where you can make an observation as it relates to injuries in the NFL based on a certain field, certain playing surface, and players that have played on that playing surface, such as at the home of the Giants and the Jets. There have been a lot of ACLs and Achilles injuries, and players such as George Kittle and others have come out and said it's really bad and that it needs to be changed. And that has always, well, I say not always, that has been something that has been discussed for a few years now. So I don't think it's just being made up. I think there's something to that.
Yeah. Think about the stuff going on with women's soccer and the studies of women's soccer players that have come down with cancer, leukemia, that they're linking, or they believe there's a link to the field turf with the granulated rubber that the NFL players play on every day.
I have not heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been going on for a couple of years. I'll send you some information on it.
You know, when you play on a field like that, and I played lacrosse on fields like that very often, for those that have not played on fields like that, it is like you take off your cleats or whatever your footwear is, and it's filled with the rubber remnants of the field. And when you sweat and then you get hit and you end up on the playing surface and you get up, your leg is covered with the rubber particles from the field.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It gets in your mouth. It gets in your eye.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But again, I don't know as it relates to San Francisco, all right, whether or not there's going to be anything into that. All right. So we'll see. I don't really have to ask Ryan this question, but I will anyway, because the 209 wants me to ask that. Ask Rhino, if the Seahawks make the Super Bowl, would he want his Seahawks practicing at the Niners practice facility?
I don't care where they practice. It is
exactly. They're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're in the Super Bowl as long as it's in Santa Clara.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think about this game coming up? Seahawks, Rams. It's the one game, the one team that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, where I have stated it's the one team I would not want to see if I'm Seattle. You agreed with me. Has your mind changed based on the way the season ended? See, here's what I can't get out of my mind. The Seahawks beat the Rams on that Thursday night, and the Rams were in complete control of the game. All right? They were up by 16 points, and Sam Darnold had the team inside the 10-yard line. Fourth quarter, under 10 minutes left, down 16. Darnold throws a really bad interception. Rams have the ball now deep in their own territory. Clock running. First down, nope. Second down, nope. Third down, no. Punt the ball. Shaheed runs it back, touchdown. 2-point conversion, good. Crowd, which had been on their hands, now into it. The place is alive. It's hopping.
Yep.
Darnold gets the ball back, makes a really good throw, corner of the end zone. The crazy 2-point conversion previously on the first touchdown. Then they make another 2-point conversion. The game is tied, and they win in overtime. But if I think about what really changed that game, Ryan, was a special teams touchdown, which you could also say was instrumental in Seattle pounding San Francisco.
Absolutely.
With the same player running it back for a touchdown 13 seconds into the first quarter. But again, special teams touchdowns don't happen every week. And before that happened, under 10 minutes, fourth quarter, the Rams were dominating that game. So why would I think that they're not going to have the same ability to do that again against the Seahawks? Like the matchup here, we always talk about matchups, right?
Yeah.
Does this matchup make you nervous?
Of course. Yeah, it's a divisional matchup. It's a team that's given Sam Darnold problems. It's also a Rams team that went on a little bit of a skid after that game, but seemed to have gotten their confidence fully back in Chicago, winning that game in that crowd or in front of that crowd and in those conditions. So yeah, it makes me very nervous. These games, again, always come down to that turnover, that special teams play, and the Rams special teams play was not good a lot of this year. They fired their special teams coach, but
Chase Blackburn.
That's right. But now we're without Zach Charbonnet. He's out for the season with the torn ACL, so you don't have that dual attack offensively. It really comes down to, can they run the football against the Rams? because you're not going to have Sam Darnold doing the things that Caleb Williams was doing. So you've got to be able to run the ball, and you've got to get Sam into the game. I would say conservatively, you have to make a point to build his confidence. The last thing I'll say, this reminds me of the Niners and the Seahawks. I want to say from 2010 or 2011, it was the NFC Championship game. No, it was later than that. Maybe it was 13, where Sherman tipped the ball. Seahawks go on to win the Super Bowl, blow out Denver. The winner of this game will win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. I think that's how big this NFC Championship is.
All right, so you talk about the running back situation. Now it's going to be Walker and only Walker. On a scale of 1 to 10, how significant is that? Because Walker obviously is their featured back. He's their number one guy, but they have had a two-back system. At this late juncture, assuming that Walker would not get hurt, do you think it's a big deal?
It is, because Walker is more of a north and south running back, and Charbonnet, up until the injury, he was really getting outside the tackles and opening those inside gaps for Walker. It was kind of the Sonic and Tails combination that the Lions have had for the last couple years. So it's going to be a different style, but I do know one guy, our GM, he's been incredible about just next man up, finding people, and they'll be good. They'll be all right. It's Sam Darnold, Grant. That's what it comes down to.
It does. It is Sam Darnold. It's Matthew Stafford. You know, you got to believe that Stafford's not going to make that crucial mistake. In that game, you know, Darnold had some bad throws, and we know about the Rams being his real nemesis. But I think from a confidence perspective, you know, Darnold kind of got that big cloud off his head by his performance after that interception. From that point forward, he was flawless in that game. The two following drives with two-point conversions and then in overtime. I wonder if that's enough to get him over that hump in terms of his nemesis as of late being the Rams. So the Rams, the Seahawks, I'm with you. I think the winner wins the Super Bowl. And then you have to ask yourself with Denver, what will the effects be without having Bo Nix against the Patriots team? I mean, you can't just downplay that. I mean, he's been their starting quarterback all year, and now you don't have him. He's also been tremendous in the fourth quarter when you have to come from behind to win. Now you don't have that guy.
Is there any... Can you pull any positives from the fact that you're not going to, if you're New England, going to know exactly how they're going to center the offensive attack with Stidham?
A little bit, but you have enough on Stidham. He has started before. He has played before, although not recently. You know what type of quarterback he is. You know what he does well, and you know what he doesn't do well. So you are talking about Mike Vrabel here. You're talking about a supreme coaching staff also in New England. So I don't think it will be that substantial. This game comes down to, like most games in these situations, taking care of the football. And the teams that take care of the football, I don't really see a difference between New England and Denver. I think these are evenly matched teams down to a T. And so it's going to be that one mistake. You know, I think this is going to be a very close game. I don't see this game getting out of hand. I really don't.
You said with the Bears and Caleb Williams, they weren't ready yet. They were ahead of schedule. Do you feel the same way about both of these teams who also have second-year quarterbacks?
Yes, I do. But one of them's going to have to get through there the way that Cincinnati did a couple of years ago when Joe Burrow took the Bengals into Kansas City and won that game.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. We're like, the Bengals might be just a year away. They're not quite ready yet. But one of these teams is going to the Super Bowl, either Denver or New England, right?
Yep.
I think Denver's defense is overrated. I think they're good. They're not great. They're not a great defense. They're a good defense. And I think Drake May is going to be able to have success on this Denver defense.
I'm with you. I'm completely with you. Drake May has been, I would say, you take Drake May, I would, over Bo Nix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I would say one thing about Bo Nix, and I give him all the credit in the world. His play this year with the game on the line, has been unbelievable. I mean, it's really, really been good. Now, we talk about weather. I don't think weather is a factor of the cold temperatures based on New England and Denver. I'm looking at the forecast for Sunday. It's below freezing. There's no precipitation really in the forecast currently. High of 29, a low of 4, but the game won't be getting down to 4. So weather is not going to be an issue here in this particular game. It's not. Or at least it does not appear to be that way as we sit here and talk on a Wednesday and look at the forecast for Sunday. Now, we talked about Dorian, right? Dorian is going on a road trip to see the Kings in New York, and that is next week. And I don't know exactly when he is arriving, but there is a bitter cold snap is what they call it.
Why do they call it a snap?
I don't know, but that's because I think it goes from like really nice to really cold, like that. And they call it a snap.
Okay.
So, for instance, like tomorrow in New York, a high of 44. Okay. On Saturday, a high of 17. So you have a 30-degree temperature, basically. Like, that's why they call it a snap. How's that sound? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're a good snapper.
Thank you.
How about that?
So when Dorian is in New York next week, the lows will be in the single digits. Okay? And I will tell you, walking through New York City in the wintertime, with the way the skyscrapers manipulate the wind, meaning that you can think, oh, this isn't bad. And you turn the corner and the temperature feels like it's 20 degrees colder. And that wind goes right through you and it can be brutal. So Dorian, if you're listening, my friend, dress and be prepared to freeze, because particularly in the evenings, it is going to be bitterly cold with temperatures for you, my friend. Next week, when you're in New York, watching your beloved Kings play at Madison Square Garden, it is going to be bitterly cold because there is a cold coming to that region. Did I define why they call it that, Rhino, or not?
You did. You couldn't have done it any better. That's awesome.
And by the way, when the Kings arrive in Cleveland tomorrow, it's not bad, 26. But then there is a cold coming on Friday where the high is 11 and the low will be 5 with snow in the forecast. Not a lot, but it is the lake. You get lake effect snow. Oh, and by the way, the wind will be 20 miles per hour, which will put the wind chill way below 0. Have fun in Cleveland. Have fun. Yeah. Have fun. Oh, I went to college in that state. I hate Ohio. I'm sorry. I just do. And I hate Cleveland. Oh, I hated going there. Oh, it's gray. It's dark. The seagulls fly all over the hotel we're staying at because it's surrounded by the river on the back, which, by the way, caught fire years ago. Then you've got, Lake Erie on the other side, and the wind comes through you, and it is brutal. Thank goodness that the hotel that the team stays at is connected to a mall, so you don't have to leave if you want to go and walk around and get something to eat. And you have a movie theater, so when you're bored out of your mind in a place that you don't want to be, you can go watch a matinee. You can go to the gym if you want, whatever, but you do not go outside. You do not go outside until it is time to get on the bus and go to the arena. And yeah. Do you know, Rhino, you ready for this? That when I would travel to these cities, like if I would not have a coat with me.
Why?
And I just didn't. I would have I just didn't bring it. And so I would walk on to the bus with, 5 degrees with just my suit, no coat, because I would just a short walk from the hotel onto the steps and then you're in the arena.
Yeah.
So if I was in a city and I wanted to go out, I would, layer up with a few shirts and a sweatshirt. Yeah. I didn't carry a coat with me. I didn't even own a coat. I didn't own a coat.
Yeah. I'm with you about that. Now, if you're Dorian, you got to pack a coat because you're going to do some sightseeing, I'm sure. while you're there. You're going to be outside more.
Yes, Patrick weighing in from Long Island. We may get major snow anywhere from Saturday evening to Monday morning. I did see that. And I'm really hoping, and I mean this in all sincerity because I love the guy, I'm really hoping this does not impact his trip. All right, we are overdue for a break. We'll take it. We'll talk more NFL football. Don't forget Sean Salisbury coming up in about 35 or 40 minutes right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Looking for the perfect spot to watch the game and enjoy amazing food and drinks? Look no further than Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Family owned and operated, Fieldhouse is passionate about creating a fun, welcoming atmosphere for everyone. Spice things up on Tuesdays with Taco Tuesday. Buy any order of our delicious tacos and get a refreshing margarita for just $6. On Wednesday, Fieldhouse features incredible drink specials. Enjoy $5 well drinks and ice cold pints all day long. Fieldhouse was voted the #1 sports bar in Sacramento. Tons of TVs, a mouthwatering menu, and daily specials. It's the perfect sports bar to catch all the action. Visit us today at 1833 Fulton Avenue. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, where the food is fantastic, the drinks are flowing, and the good times never stop. Fieldhouse, bring it to the house.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Just to follow up on that last conversation, Rhino, as the Kings head into this frigid weather, headline in the New York Post: bone-chilling, life-threatening Arctic blast to hit eastern U.S. with New York City facing a foot of snow. And then, you ready for this? Another story underneath that: meteorologists warn of exploding trees as brutal cold snap expected to usher in sub-zero temps. So what happens, Ryan? A little lesson here.
Exploding trees.
Yes, exploding trees. So here's what happens when you have a cold snap. In a nutshell, the trees don't have enough time to acclimate from temperature change if it goes to an extreme. All right? So, like, we're talking about the sap in the trees. They can freeze. All right? And again, we're talking about the sap inside a tree can begin to freeze, right? And sap contains water. So when it freezes, it expands and can put pressure on the bark of a tree, which can break. And then, you ready for this? It's like an explosion. And if you're in the forest and you hear trees like that, it sounds like gunshots.
Can you?
So just keep that in mind when you if you want to go to this weather.
Yeah, for sure. Can you visually tell if that's happening with the tree?
Well, you can't tell until it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to some phone calls with Bill in Citrus Heights. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Grant. The reason I think Denver can win this weekend, the one essence that they have is coaching. I think they have far superior coaching.
I don't.
Well, I do. And the reason is, tell me, how many of the Patriots assistant coaches are up for head coaching jobs?
I don't know, but I think you're making way too much out of this. The bottom line is Sean Payton is an excellent coach with a tremendous resume, and so is Mike Vrabel. And there's a reason why both of these teams won as many games as they did. And by the way, one other thing. Josh McDaniels
what has he won?
Josh McDaniel is regarded as one of the, if not the best offensive minds in football. The fact that he wasn't a good head coach doesn't mean that he's not an unbelievably talented coordinator. You could say that about Norv Turner, when he was one of the best offensive coordinators in the history of the game, but failed miserably when he got his opportunity to be a head coach. So I think you're making way too much out of this.
Well, let me ask you, what has Mike Vrabel won?
Mike Vrabel is considered and regarded by people in the NFL circle as one of the best coaches and has been over a period of time. What has Sean Payton won? He's won one Super Bowl with Drew Brees. One. Okay? A lot of people feel he underachieved in New Orleans based on the talent that he had. He won one. If you really want to go that way.
I believe that the chance that Broncos have is better coaching.
Well, I disagree with you. I think you're way off the mark. They don't have better coaching. That's absurd. I'm sorry, Bill. You're trying to look for things that don't exist. They don't have better coaching. Okay? They might have a better team, and the better team will win, but they don't have better coaching. That's nonsense.
Who creates a better team?
The players.
Right, and who finds
generally, if you have better players, you're going to win. I'm not minimizing the effects of coaching because I think coaching is extremely important. But you're making it seem like New England's coaching staff is not like really respected or not very good. They have a tremendous coaching staff.
So good that nobody wants any of their coordinators as head coaches.
So that's how you are going to determine whether a coaching staff is good or not, Bill? Seriously, you're really going to go there?
Well, I think it reflects, people are talented. People are going to look up and say, okay, this guy's really talented. I want him running my team. This guy is really talented. I want him running my team. And, I think it's a fair way to judge. How many?
Well, I will tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. Josh McDaniels is probably never going to become a head coach again in the NFL because of his stints with the Denver Broncos and the Raiders. But yet, okay, if you needed an offensive coordinator and he became available, he'd be probably the first guy hired. All right. He is a supreme, great, coveted offensive coordinator, and yet he's not being interviewed for a head coach job. Does that mean he's not really good at what he does? No, it doesn't. Come on now, Bill. Come on.
They have defensive coordinators. They have passing coordinators. They have quarterback coaches. They have line coaches. None of them are nobody's reaching out to them.
Well, I got to tell you right now, if you put Joe Lombardi next to Josh McDaniels, okay, and you line both of them up with teams that are currently looking for head coaches, looking for offensive coordinators, just about every team in the league would take Josh McDaniels over Joe Lombardi. I think you're just barking up a tree. You're barking up the wrong tree here. You're making too much out of something that doesn't exist. You really are.
Okay, well, I hope I'm right and you're wrong, so I guess we'll find out.
But this isn't about being right and being wrong. because if Denver wins, it doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong. It's just that your point is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Bill, and I appreciate you and I respect you, and you've called the show a lot, and we've had great conversations. But you're trying to make something here that doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist.
I'm okay.
Thank you for the call.
You.
Hey, you take care,
bye-bye.
Bill. Call again. Bye-bye. It's ridiculous.
I think Bill's
All right.
talking about the busing, the coaching, the buses that drive the teams to the stadium.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, by
All
the
right.
way, CBS says that the Bills and the Broncos was the most watched Saturday NFL playoff game
I saw that.
ever.
I saw that.
Got to think that's Bills Mafia.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. By the way, just to follow up on that point, just because you're not a candidate to become a head coach doesn't mean, right, that you're not a really good coach.
100%. How many great coordinators don't make good head coaches? There's a ton.
Many. Norv Turner. I mentioned Norv Turner. He's one of the great offensive coordinators in the history of the game.
Yeah, and Robert Saleh, we're going to find out. He's getting his second shot in Tennessee, which seems like weird timing to do that and a weird team to do it with. Because usually you only get 2 times in the NFL, but wishing him the best. But he's a great coordinator. I think he's better that than head coach.
Yeah. Again, I think that I appreciate his phone calls and his support, but I think he's reaching for something that doesn't exist. I'm sorry, it just doesn't exist. It's not. When I'm analyzing this game, I'm not like going, oh boy, the Denver Broncos are going to win this game because they have an advantage with their coaches. No, they don't. I mean, Mike Vrabel's. Who's done a better job than Mike Vrabel this year? You could say maybe Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel are going, they're mirror images of one another. Ben Johnson. Like, if you put those 3 together in the job they did this year, it's been incredible, hasn't it? Seriously, it's been amazing.
Yeah,
they've done a phenomenal job.
Great job.
But, I mean, but Mike Vrabel, their team won 4 games last year.
And they won 12 this year. 12-4, yeah.
So, hey, folks, if you've been waiting to buy a home, then you need to be prepared to act soon for what's about to happen in the real estate market. The expected Fed rate cuts, they're going to renew the housing market. The demand is going to be incredible, all right? Buyers will flood the market. Bidding wars will happen. Homes are going to sell quickly. You need to get your ducks in a row, and the best way to start with an experienced broker to represent you. Village Financial Group, Spencer Grimmenstein, broker owner. He is going to be awesome for you. Spencer's white glove service, boutique experience, one-stop shop method makes it so easy for you. Spencer will navigate you through the process from start to finish. He has extensive home listings to choose from throughout Northern California. You can see for yourself. Go to vfgloans.com and you'll see over 9,000 homes available for purchase. And here's the other deal. Spencer's got 30 years mortgage brokering experience. He will get you the best rates. All right. He's going to get you the best rates. He's got access to private money. He's the man. Trust me. I've known him now for over 25 years. It makes sense to call Spence, or you can text him at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Don't forget Grant's Rant coming up in about, 20 minutes. Then Sean Salisbury on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Tired of the same old routine? Need a place where the beer flows and the good times roll? Then head to Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Family owned and operated, so you know you'll feel right at home. Catch all your favorite games on 18 big screens while enjoying amazing food. And with 28 beers on tap, you're sure to find something you love. And don't miss everyday happy hour from 3 to 7 and again from 10 till close. Looking for more than just the game? Trivia Tuesday starts at 7 p.m. And there's Mario Kart and bingo nights for even more fun, too. There's always a blast happening at Fieldhouse. Whether you're looking for a place to watch the game, grab a bite with the family, or just unwind with friends, Fieldhouse is the place to be. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Bring it to the house.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubrud's.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. Gubrud's. Gabrud's.com.
Are your lights flickering more than a disco ball? Tired of your office coffee maker and server room fighting over that one working outlet? Call the pros who keep the juice flowing. Elite Power Inc. Elite Power Inc. is the commercial and industrial electrical contractor who takes your power and lighting seriously so you don't have to. Elite Power Inc. handles everything from rewiring ancient office buildings to installing cutting-edge control panels in factories. Their IBEW 340 electricians have more certifications than your printer has error messages. And they promise not to judge your breaker panel's creative labeling. Get plugged in with Elite Power Inc., where sparks fly, but only in a good way. Professionally trained technicians, 24-hour electrical service, maintenance, and repair. Project estimating, the knowledge and skill for any commercial or industrial need. Call 916-739-1580. That's 916-739-1580. Or go to elitepower.com.
Don't forget Sean Salisbury coming up next segment. I always laugh when I get messages like this from the 530. Grant, Michael Malone is out there as a head coach without a job. Would Vivek ever tuck his tail between his legs and make a call to him? If he does, would Malone even pick up the phone? Michael Malone, if he did pick up the phone, it would be a one-way conversation. And Vivek would feel so low after the conversation, he would be able to crawl underneath a pregnant ant. Okay, so that would be how that conversation would go. You know what really bothers me in sports in this day and age, with the era that we live in, with the news cycle, the amount of money that players make in professional sports because of the television contracts. Right? Whether they get a piece of the series that air on Netflix, HBO, they're all making money off this. Okay? The TV network deals, ESPN, NBC, Fox, and CBS, they all make a ton of money because of this. And when I see players like the Bears' DJ Moore, who has no problem going on the network post-game shows, standing on the field, being interviewed by the sideline reporter and making a big deal and how great everything is. You know what? When you do not show up and face the media after a loss, that is absolutely gutless. Okay? Gutless. And you know what the problem is? Moore has always been one of the Bears' most accessible players. He is. And for him to blow off the media when Moore, again, appeared to stop on the route on the ball that was intercepted to basically end the game and end the Chicago Bears season, DJ Moore was not around to answer questions. Like, how does that happen? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. When you're involved in a play that changes the outcome of the game and you're always accessible and you can't show up after the game and face the music, that is just being absolutely gutless. It's a joke. It's a joke. I've mentioned Mark Andrews. I've mentioned Stephon Diggs in the past. I've mentioned a lot of different players that you can look at and say, just an absolutely gutless move. Meanwhile, you have a kicker for the Baltimore Ravens who misses a kick that cost his team a chance to go to the playoffs, and he's in the locker room, and he's answering every question, and he's being accountable, and he's being a professional. And now you're telling me that DJ Moore blows off the media on a play that ended the Chicago Bears season. It's horrible. It's awful. And I understand it's not fun. I get it. I understand it's the last thing that you would want to be doing. I get it. But it's your responsibility. It is doing your job. It's part of your job. It's the reason why you're going to be able to get in your $200,000 vehicle upon walking out of the stadium, and you're going to be able to park your vehicle in your garage in your multi-million-dollar mansion, okay? And then you're going to be able to get on your private jet after you clear out your locker for the offseason, and you're going to be able to fly to the Caribbean or wherever else you want to go. That's why you're able to do those things, because of the media, because of the TV money, because of the money that people spend on buying your jersey. And you're blowing off the media, you're a no-show. It drives me crazy when our athletes, such as A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles, who did the exact same thing after the loss to the 49ers last week. Gutless. All right? He had drops. He was terrible. He didn't have any problem calling out the team all year round and calling out his quarterback. And now, in a game in which you were a no-show, in a game in which you didn't do your job, you don't want to face the media after the game, and you want to take the easy way out and slide out the back door and get into your car and drive home. Gutless. There's no other way to say it. Absolutely gutless.
Okay, what about the players that do show up in front of the media and they're not giving answers? And
Well,
they just...
you know what? Okay. That is at least an individual facing the cameras and the microphones. And if they want to look bad in acting that way, then that is on them. But there are athletes that do that and basically give very abrupt answers, or they turn it around on the media and make them try to look bad. That has happened in the past. But when you are an absolute no-show, when you are a main reason why a game ended, and listen, I'm not saying it's DJ Moore's fault or not, but it would have been nice to get his explanation on why he stopped running his route from a sprint into a jog when Caleb Williams was throwing the ball ahead of him. And if he had not been able to get the ball, maybe he would have been able to make a play on the defender that intercepted the ball.
Great
and
point.
Maybe the Bears would have kept their season alive, and maybe they would have won.
It's a very good point. So you put that a step below. So the worst thing you could do is blow off. But
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's the worst thing you can do.
All right.
Are you kidding me? It's your responsibility.
Grant, I'm thinking as a player. If you're a player that knows that you don't want to talk, maybe the logic is, well, it's better not to go up there altogether.
Did C.J. Stroud talk after the game in which he was horrible?
I do not know. Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did. It's called responsibility. Okay. It's called like, hey, this is my job. It's part of my job.
Yeah.
It's part of my responsibility. That's what I do. I take the good with the bad. Again, the word is professional. You're either a professional or you're not. And this is a really bad look for Moore, and it's a bad look for Brown, and it's a bad look for athletes who only want to come out when things are good and things are rosy and all of the media attention is going to be great. But when you don't get the job done, especially A.J. Brown, I mean, of all the players to blow off the media after his actions during the year, not downplaying, creating controversy within his locker room about the offense and Jalen Hurts and blah, blah, blah. When you drop as many balls as you did in a playoff game and you don't want to talk to the media, it's gutless. Seriously, it's gutless.
Philly fan has to be bent.
No, he's done. He's not going to play in Philly next year.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on. You think the Philly fan is going to cheer for him next year? There's not a chance. No way. No way. And if he were to come back, it would not be pleasant for him.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. If he hadn't dropped the balls, maybe there would be a chance. But there's a lot with Philly fan because it seems like you're either team Jalen Hurts or you're team A.J. Brown.
Well, here's the deal in Philly. It's different than any other market really in the country. It is a blue-collar town, and they expect you go out and play hard, and they expect accountability. And if you do that, even if they boo you off the field, okay, even if they boo you off the field, they'll still respect you. The Philadelphia fan right now has very little respect for A.J. Brown. Very little respect. And when you lose that in Philadelphia, you need to change your scenery. That's the reality of the situation. It's very, listen, it is true where they booed Santa Claus off the field. I mean, this is Philly. This is a different, no, it is. It's completely different. It's not like Mike Schmidt got booed in Philadelphia. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to boo Mike Schmidt in Philadelphia, you can boo anybody in Philadelphia. They booed. The Eagles got booed off the field in the NFC Championship game after the first half. Got booed off the field in the NFC Championship game. So, yes, Philly is different. And A.J. Brown, you can't do that.
They have to grease up the light poles in Philly if there's going to be a celebration.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Imagine being the city worker that gets that email. Hey, can you go grease up the light poles, please?
Oh, boy. Whoa. Wow. It's true, though.
Very true.
Very true. Yep, very true. All right, again, if you want to get in on the program, you can do so. Don't forget, I've got Grant's Rant coming up in a little bit, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. And appreciate the comments that we are getting also on our YouTube page. If you don't like that, it's the Fox Sports Sacramento. All right, Fox Sports Sacramento. My YouTube page is if you don't like that, if you want to watch the post-game show tonight with Rhino, Jerry, and myself. But this is the Fox Sports Sacramento YouTube page. So we appreciate wherever you're listening. Don't forget to download the Fox Sports KSAC app. A couple of reactions on Michael Malone. Michael Malone despises Vivek Ranadive, despises him. And there would be a better chance of me, Grant Napear, coaching the Kings than Michael Malone. That tells you how that would go. Wow. Some members of the Sacramento media say Sabonis coming back is hurting the team by taking minutes away from Reynaud. What a ridiculous and stupid take. People forget Sabonis took this team to the playoffs for the first time in 16 years. Well, if some members of the Sacramento media are saying that,
they shouldn't be in the media because they have no idea what they're talking about. So if some members of the media are saying that, it's stupidity. Okay? It's absurd. They shouldn't be on in the media. What's that?
Could you imagine, because of this long road trip, this is the last time we could see this team together as it is, but could you imagine if Sabonis got dealt?
Well, I can tell you
The
right now,
deadline?
he wants to get dealt, and I don't even have to ask him because I already know. I've been there. I tell you, I've been in these situations, and I know exactly what's going on. I would wager a significant amount of income, maybe all of it, that he's been on the phone with his agent and has already said, get me out of here. I'm just telling you. I know how these things work. I've lived it. I've been there. I've been behind the scenes before, and I know exactly what's going on, and I'm going to put my reputation on the line and my experience, and I'm going to tell you that's what has already happened. I would believe that's already happened.
I'm going to put my credibility on the line and make a bold prediction here. This will be the last time you see Keon Ellis in a Kings uniform at the Golden One Center.
Is he going to play?
No.
He didn't play last night.
He didn't
Is he
play
going to get in the
last night.
game?
No. Why
well,
would
gee,
you?
but you know what? What did the Kings? What was Doug Christie looking for last night? He said in his post-game press conference as it related to Zach LaVine. What was he looking for?
He was looking for defense and energy.
All right, and he wanted guys that are handsy, right?
Handsy, yes.
Handsy. Handsy. Would Keon Ellis fit the criteria for what we just discussed, the three things that you're looking for?
I think watching Keon practice is where Doug's like, oh, I like handsy players. So, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Doug was actually asked last night really quick about having too many playmakers and if that is an issue or something that is difficult to manage with this roster.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that you feel because there's a lot of different moving pieces, obviously. But yeah, that can happen. But you know, we've still been able to compete at a high level. So for me, the playmaking and all the different things, I'm more interested in the fact that we need to be physical, stop people, play to our standard first and foremost. Like if we do have playmakers out there, move the basketball, share the basketball. Hopefully guys are knocking down shots and playing a beautiful style of basketball. And, you know, that hasn't happened in the last couple games.
Well, competing at a high level, I mean, I'm sorry, he's not watching the same team I'm watching. I would say this year they've competed at a high level maybe 25% of the time. Maybe 25% of the time. That's why they have the worst net rating in the conference. It's unbelievable to me. Oh, my gosh. 1 hour left. Grant's Rant, right around the corner. Sean Salisbury. We're going to talk all NFL and college football. That's coming up next, right here. The Grant Napear Show, Fox Sports Sacramento.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If it's time for a heating and air system replacement, Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort has fantastic news. For a limited time, qualified buyers can get a reliable Lennox Ultimate Comfort heating and air system, professionally installed by Sierra Pacific, with no payments and no interest for 12 months. Or you can get back up to $1,800 in rebates. That's a heck of a deal. A new Lennox system fully installed, no payments or interest for a year, or an $1,800 rebate. This offer ends soon and some restrictions apply, so call us now. Sierra Pacific has served Sacramento for more than 4 decades with top-notch heating and air service. We're pleased to leverage our relationship with Lennox to bring you this amazing offer on a Lennox Ultimate Comfort HVAC system installed by our team at Sierra Pacific. Visit now at SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. At age 37, the clock is ticking on Steph Curry's greatness. The Warriors came into the season as a long shot in the talented Western Conference. But there was at least a sense of optimism, but it took a brutal hit Monday night when Jimmy Butler suffered a season-ending knee injury. Now Golden State is stuck in basketball limbo. A championship run suddenly feels unrealistic in a loaded West. But here's the problem with walking away. Curry's still on the roster, and as long as the greatest shooter of all time is playing at this level, punting on a season feels almost irresponsible. So the question becomes philosophical. Do you keep pushing chips into the middle, sacrificing future flexibility to give Steph Curry one more chance? Or do you view Butler's injury as a sign that the era has reached its natural end? There is no easy answer here. What is clear is that time is no longer on Golden State's side. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Firestone tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Firestone test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously, from their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Taste the
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
I can't believe what I read today from Buffalo, New York. The Bills owner, Terry Pegula, speaking to the media today, and said that the scene in the locker room and with a sobbing Josh Allen contributed to the firing of his head coach. Quote, "My decision to bring in a new coach was based on the results of our game in Denver. I want to take you in the locker room after that game. I looked around. The first thing I noticed was our quarterback with his head down crying. I looked at their faces and our coaches. I walked over to Josh. He didn't even acknowledge I was there. He sat there sobbing. He was listless. He had given everything he had to try to win that game. And looking around, so did all the other players on the team. I saw the pain in Josh's face at his pressure, and I felt this pain. I know we can do better, and I know we will get better." So you're telling me the owner of the Buffalo Bills, all right, decides to bring in a new coach based on the results of the game in Denver and his sobbing quarterback? Are you kidding me? Let's just call it the way it is. And I mentioned this on the show 2 days ago. Josh Allen can't play like that. Josh Allen understands that he did let his team down, because you know what? He did let his team down. And as great of a season as Allen had, All right. It doesn't make up for his bonehead turnovers, particularly at the end of the first half. You cannot carry the football like that and fumble and give Denver a chance to kick a field goal going into the locker room with 2 seconds left because of your carelessness. So Josh Allen, as tremendous as he is, it's the same moniker on him. All right. Doesn't get the job done in January, or did not get the job done in Denver in January. And that's what the owner is going to use in his decision to fire Sean McDermott. Are you kidding me? And listen, I'm okay with the Bills making a change. He's been there for 9 years. He had a chance. I'm okay with them moving on. But your owner comes out and says that today? Give me a freaking break, would you please? And that's my rant for today. All right, Sean Salisbury. Love talking to him normally on Tuesdays, but travel issues have him going today on Wednesday. Sean, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, Grant. How are you, my man?
I'm doing good. Listen, I want to get to you on Josh Allen, and then we'll move over to where you live in Houston with C.J. Stroud. I need Allen to play better than he did in that game. I'm sorry. You're not going to win a game turning the ball over like that with the carelessness. And again, that play at the end of the half, Sean, I'm sorry. It's inexcusable. You can't fumble there.
Yeah, Grant, I am very adamant about this, and I've said it all year long on my show, that the Buffalo Bills cannot win. And I'm talking about against tough opponents. If Josh Allen doesn't play not good, he has to play pretty great every week. Now, they've got good players, but for some reason, he's on a team like you know teams that can. Well, New England's doing it. And now May's had a great year and probably going to finish second in the MVP. But even if he goes 15 to 23 for 180 yards, he doesn't have to be perfect to win. And I feel like Josh Allen does. Now, whether he carries that burden around and that costs him, but he's had remember 2 years ago, this would be the third, he led the league in red zone turnovers. Got out of it, turned his game around, and the guy dresses in a phone booth. We know that. But when you do lose and you turn the ball over and lay it on the ground and put your team in a bind, as much as I love Josh Allen and he carries that burden, that's just part and parcel why you get paid the big money and do it. He knows he's got to play great, and he didn't in that game. Had his moments, but he didn't, and they got beat. They can't. Other teams may be able to get by with their quarterback playing good and their defense making a few plays, but for Buffalo and him, he's got to play great every week. It's a burden, but it's also something that he signed up for. That's just part of it. I know he's emotional, and we can get the owner on another time, but I'm with you. Love Josh Allen. I think that Sean McDermott's a hell of a football coach, but after 9 years, I'm okay with it too. But I heard a press conference with a lot of excuses and a lot of finger pointing. It was weird to me that I think that the Buffalo's front office is part of the problem, and their indecision, just listening to Brandon Beane and Pagula talk. But yeah, Josh Allen, see, when guys are stars, we give them more hall passes. We've done it with LeBron. We've done it with guys a lot of times. And not that he's asking for one in Josh Allen's case. But I do know this, that people will make excuses for that. Well, look at all the other great stuff he's done. Yeah, but there's still one thing he doesn't have, a Super Bowl appearance or a Super Bowl win. It's not on him. They've got to do some more with him and for him. But you know what? If it was somebody else, we'd be saying you can't turn it over that much. We've heard it about Purdy. We've heard it about Mahomes. You just can't turn it over. And when you do, put your team in the bind. And nobody relies on their quarterback more than Josh Allen.
Sean, if you were the general manager of the Houston Texans, are you looking for a different quarterback for next season?
I'm not paying him the money that he would have garnered after his rookie year had it have been 3 years later. I would not re-up him for $55 or $60 million. And I know the argument's going to be, well, they did for Tua, they did for Jalen Hurts. That doesn't mean you have to do it. I don't know why we think because you're paying guys that, quite frankly, are, I don't get in people's wallet. And in the football terms, I get it. But when you probably could sign a couple of those guys for $35 million instead of $55 and keep them. Where are they going? Where were they? And who else is doing it? I don't have to pay him. Stroud has not gotten better since his rookie year. And I'm a Stroud fan. This is coming from a guy, so I'll raise my hand. After his rookie year, I thought his best football, he hadn't even scratched the surface yet. But he takes some hits. The next year didn't work out. Another coordinator, and he's regressed. His eyes are in the wrong place at times. He feels skittish to me, and at times I feel like he's playing scared. And I love the kid. I do. I think when he's good, he's really good. But when he's bad, you can't turn it over 8 dozen times in 2 playoff games. They were lucky to win that one against Pittsburgh. Defense scores twice. If Pittsburgh's offense has anything, Houston doesn't win that game. But Yeah, I'm not paying him the 55 or whatever million that those guys are commanding right now. I'd take my chances with some other quarterback a lot cheaper. He's a good player. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, and maybe at times, but the consistency, and he has taken steps back the last 2 years, and it would cause me, I would think about leaving a competition open. I don't know if they're going to. I think they're going to commit to, and I do think he's going to get paid. If I was the owner and the GM, he would not get paid 55 or 60 million. I don't trust that he's going to get better than his rookie year. I hope he does. I believe he can. He's talented enough, but it's more than just throwing the ball to the wrong guy or laying it on the ground. There's a lot going on when it comes to decision making, and he just doesn't. He hasn't made the throws that he's made in the past. And the last 2 years, he's taken a step back both years. Like the guy, I think he's a good player, but he's becoming just a guy at quarterback and replaceable. And I'm not paying him $60 million.
Sean, the other aspect of this,
I'm not extending him. Yeah.
Sean, the other aspect of this is the Texans have a championship caliber defense. It's not good. It's great. Yep. How does he walk into the locker room next year and have the confidence of his teammates? See, there's the other issue of this, the domino effect. I mean, the players in that locker room got to be saying, hey, man, we need a different guy.
Well, with all of his turnovers, he damn near single-handedly cost that offense this game.
Exactly.
And, you think he did. I mean, you just can't do that. And he's fortunate he got away with one the week before. But this isn't just the two games. This has been a pattern with his game. And then sometimes he'll have a spectacular game. We see you can't win 10 in a row without quarterback's doing something well.
Sure.
He's a good player.
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm with you. But the biggest moments, don't we judge people by the biggest moments, and especially quarterback? I mean, and in the biggest moments, this playoffs, he did not play well. They were lucky their defense is as dominant a defense as we've seen. And I mean, they are that guy defense. So confidence, I'll tell you what, sometimes you got to come back and earn your gig. You got to come back and deal with it and regain the trust of your teammates. On the surface, I'm sure they're all saying, oh, that's our guy. We believe in him and the rest of it. But after what you saw happen in 2 playoff games and losing one of them, you're like, if we protect the ball just 2 times more in the game, maybe we win. So to me, yeah, I'm not extending him, and he's going to have work to do, and that's okay. You can regain the trust, but it's not going to be as difficult because what happens is if things start to go bad again, locker rooms get fractured. It's like, why are you playing him? What about another guy? So, no, I think he'd be taking a major risk to extend him. I hope it turns out for him, but I wouldn't pay him $50 million.
Sean, we're the same generation. We've watched a lot of football. You've played a lot of football at the quarterback position. I honestly mean this. I don't know if I've ever seen a better play ever made than I saw the 4th and 4 from Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't even know how to put that into words, Sean. You played the position, so maybe you can give us some perspective of how amazing that play by Williams was.
Well, Grant, most people, it would be hard for a lot of, even those of us who played it, to give that perspective because in truth, most can't make it. We hear that overused, like a guy will make a comeback throw, on the sideline that's a rip shot, and everybody, oh, man, you can't make, only 3 guys can make that throw. That's not true. Everybody in the league can throw a comeback, okay? But, and I don't say this hyperbolically, when I see throws, and he seems to do a different version of it every week. I can remember 4 different times where I thought, oh my gosh, how many people are making that throw? Then the next week, well, just a week ago, he made the throw.
The 4th and 8, rolling out to his left, throwing across his body.
Yeah. And let's start there. This wasn't going to his right. This is going the hard way. And it's happened 2 weeks in a row. You can't, just to get enough on the throw that he made this past weekend, under the circumstances he made it. Listen, I'm going to say this loud, and this is not, I mean this is not a hot take. I sincerely believe this. There is no, I'm talking about Mahomes and Josh Allen. I'm talking about all of them. Just on the spectacular, raw ability, that stuff that you like, how does this guy, like when Woods would do, I'm not saying he's Tiger Woods in his sport, don't misunderstand me, but when Woods would hit a 220-yard bunker shot to 5 feet when he had to cut it around a tree, and everybody's saying, you got to lay up, and he hits it to 3 feet and makes the putt. That you're like, how does a guy do that? When most guys say, well, most of us don't have the balls to attempt it. That's what this was. It's like, I mean, most to throw it out of bounds. This was an intentional throw to make a play, to get enough on it, and then to get hit and go to the ground. I saw it's spectacular. I think he's the most gifted. I didn't say the best. He's got a long way to go because the other side of this he's got to fix. But gifted, raw ability to be able to do things that when you're a coach, you cannot teach. There's not a coach in the world, no matter what these guys that are coaching and gimmicky trainers, quarterback, that think that they're the reason their quarterback is the only reason their quarterback's good, that those gimmicks that they say, yeah, we work on that all the time. No, you don't. You don't work on that because you can't complete that. Okay, you don't work on that. And you don't put him through it. Off schedule, we do sometimes to get a guy to learn how to, but off schedule in real games is different than off schedule in shorts and a t-shirt while I'm training a guy. We all do it. He can't. So he's the most gifted raw talent in this league at that position. Period. Strong arm, can make I would have ran him more in the game. I would have liked to have his legs used more because when he did, the pressure he puts on a defense, it was phenomenal. It is one of the greatest plays you'll ever see, and considering the circumstances. But you know what, Grant? He's going to make more plays like that because of his raw physical gifts. Now, the other side of it is, and that last interception was not on him. DJ Moore's got to cut off the defender and keep running his route and break that pass up. That he was thrown to a spot that DJ Moore quit on, and but the other two, he's just got to be more boring. I know that sounds crazy. When Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the staff, when Caleb Williams doesn't get coached out of the spectacular, but learns how to do the stuff that guys can't play, to do the stuff that the guy who can't make that play does. Hit a check down, hit a shallow cross, start faster. Make me just, I know I say it a lot, but the best is it's like a golfer. Scheffler's not thrilling. He doesn't talk. He hits at the fairway, hits at the 5 feet, makes the putt.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring, and the rest of it. You know what? Every other golfer on the PGA Tour wants to be that boring. Yet, when you need a shot from 260 with a 5-wood, and you got to hook it or draw it or fade it, Scheffler can do that. Others can't. Hence why he wins 6 times a year. He's been the 4-time PGA Tour Player of the Year in a row. Okay, same thing with this guy. When he gets to the point where he can play boring, he got 6 more yards. It's a 10-yard curl. He's got every physical skill and more than you could ever fathom. The thing that he needs to do is learn how to play boring without coaching the good stuff out of him. And when he does, there's another level to his game. But there's no way you can coach 3 or 4 of the plays he's made this year. Your coach would say, that's the way you say. The coach says, no, don't. Oh, man, what a great play. The coach says that's what they'll say. And it just, I'm fascinated in 2 ways every week. How did he miss that throw, which is easy? And how has he gone 1 for 7? And then you'll go a quarter and you'll say, how did he make 4 of those plays? That's who he is. Once he gets boring, he will be a guy that every year is in the MVP talk. You just got to get more accurate and more boring early in games.
Take me into and put me in the shoes of Jarrett Stidham. What's this week going to be like for him and his approach to the game on Sunday?
I've been in an exact situation, Grant, and I'll tell you what, it just wasn't the NFC Championship game or the AFC Championship game, should I say, but in a playoff game and in a regular season game. I've been in it. We all say it's just another game, and it's not, because the interview requests, nobody's in the media has wanted to talk to them all year long, I wouldn't think. And now you're in this, you've been a journeyman, you were in New England, you've learned from some good people, you were, a Raider, you've been coached pretty well. And the guy you're replacing was a guy who, went to Auburn as well. Transferred a couple times in college. He's got an arm. He's probably a better vertical passer than Bo Nix is. He's just a pure raw passer. He just doesn't have all that athleticism Bo Nix has. Well, what happens, Grant, in this? If I was going to sit down with him for 5 minutes and say, Sean, you know the situation, you've covered it. How would you approach this game? I'd say, 1, don't let anybody in the locker room say, go in there and play not to lose it. Just protect the ball. Don't buy into any of that, because that's the negative. That's negative into my mind. Don't tell me we just go out there and don't lose it for us. I don't want that. You know what I'm telling him? If I'm saying, first off, get under center and do what we pay you to do. You didn't get the reps you want, but that's part and parcel to what you do. You're a backup quarterback. You go there and play to win the SOB and prove why you belong on the field. Nick Foles did it. Jeff Hostetler did it. You can do this. Instead of, I don't ever put that, man, you know what? Just don't put us in trouble. Automatically, my coach is telling me, we don't trust you, so we're going to protect. No. And if I'm the coordinator, I ain't backing off squat. I may have a different type of game plan foot-wise because he doesn't run like Bo Nix, but I'm going with what we do, and I'm going to expect him to execute the play. his mindset all the week. He's going to be, the interviews all week long. But Grant, you have, he'll tell everybody, hey man, once you get hit, it's football. But it's not. There's added pressure. You don't want to let your teammates down. You want to make sure you're making the same place. And then there's that little thing hovering that you're auditioning to be a starter again, whether it's at your home place, which you're not, or somewhere else. That does enter. I've been there. You do. And so what happens is you try to do too much. And I don't mean don't back off and play it safe and scared. I'm talking about just go and let it rip. Almost, you have to get to the point. What do you do during scout team and practice? I know this because I've done it. You go there and you're throwing it in the windows. You're making smart decisions, making the defense drive on the ball. You're going through it, but you're playing free and loose. It's hard to say, but at least he gets the home game. That's how you have to play. But I would tell him to play exactly like what he expects. Are you a starter? You're damn right I am. I just happen to be backing this guy up. Go play like it. We're going to need you to win the game for us. We can't go 9 out of 11 and win this game. Their quarterback's too good. But he has got to guard against trying to be Bo Nix and guard against trying to match Drake May. Hard to do. He's got a good defense. So Denny Green used to always say, drive the bus. And Tom Moore used to always say, the great Tom Moore, don't play scared, just don't play stupid. And it's really simple, but it's true. If you got a shot, take it. We're going to need you to hit a few of those. But listen, he'll probably urinate down his leg, probably need a second jock strap. I mean, there's that stuff. Go into pregame warm-up, you come back out and say, man, I've had a coach say that once. Said, hey, man, you need to change your jock strap before you go out there for the real game, and laugh and trying to loosen you up. So, but Grant, the truth is, and get him a few early completions, because there is this part, the other side of this is when I was in some of those situations, there are times when you kind of build in that pissed off mode about why you're not playing to yourself, not out loud, because you're a competitor, and say, you know what? I'm about to go in and show them. I'm going to let it rip, man. What do I got to lose? I'm a backup anyway. The world doesn't expect anything, but the guys in the locker room do. And if I'm his offensive tackle, I expect him to put up the same numbers and do the things Bo Nix did at me. We may skin it a little different, the way we approach it. But when there's a curl route open, you drop back and throw it. You've done it 8 million times. You just got to get out of, it's the playoffs, it's the Super Bowl. But guess what? If you just play your game, guess who's starting in the Super Bowl? You are. So I'm thinking more Nick Foles, Jeff Hostetler than I'm thinking backup who comes in and everybody's afraid to death and he can't get it done. He's seen enough football to go execute it. And my expectations would be high. I wouldn't tell him to back off. I'd tell him to go play. Just make sure we're not in a bind defensively. If you don't give him the short field, dude, you go be a hero without trying to be. And if they win, he'll be a hero because they're not going to win against New England if he plays average. They're just not. He's going to have to play better than what we consider backup quarterbacks playing. I don't
know the man, but this guy may also be starting in the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold. And I think you have the knowledge that I don't. But I talk about perseverance, and I talk about the start of his career in New York and moving on to different franchises and then not wanting to be back in Minnesota. The organization said, we're going to go in a different direction. And here he is, 60 minutes from starting in the Super Bowl. What a story that would be for Sam Darnold, Sean.
Playing like we all thought he'd play when he left Southern Cal.
Yeah.
I've been on record. I mean, I was fortunate when I came in as a highly recruited guy. I was a 3-sport athlete who could do quite a few things that others couldn't. I don't mean it arrogant. I could. Carson Palmer, Rodney Peete, Matt. I mean, you go through. We've had Caleb Williams. We've had, say what they want. We've had some pretty skilled quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The Caleb Williams, the skill set on the Carson Palmer could rip it as good as anybody. But you know what? This guy's arm talent is as good as any of them. I'm just telling you, it is. And he's an underrated move guy. I'm going to tell you, though, his biggest strength through all this, Grant, has not been buying into what everybody was supposed to believe after he left New York. Well, he's in New York. Guy can't play. He's afraid. Or, man, look what he's done. What a bust. At no time, I want you to go back and find a clip where you've heard anybody or Sam Darnold blame somebody else. I want you to go back where he's made excuses. I want you to go back and find me where he's been a self-promoter and told you how great he was. At no time have I heard him throughout all this, Carolina, learning this. You know what I've heard him say? It was awesome being a backup in San Francisco because I got to learn from Brock Purdy and the 49ers coaching staff. That's what he said. So through all this, when most people would have been fighting back and battling on Twitter and arguing, going on these shows, say, well, I'm a starting quarterback. They just haven't given me my – never. His biggest strength is not his arm talent, and it's his arm talent and skill set. He can throw the ball into some rare areas, brother. He's got that Brett Favre in him that he thinks he can make every throw into any window, which I love. The problem is sometimes he feels like he has to, and that's when Sam gets in trouble. He stays away from that. He can play flawless, and he is a monster arm talent, and he's a smart guy. His biggest strength is his ability to deal with all this crap that was said about it. And that is hard to do because you hear it enough, you start to believe it. And at no time when he was playing at SC do I ever remember thinking, what an arrogant guy Sam is, man. I mean, believes how good he is. Never. And I love that. I mean, I think he knows he's a really good player, but he is the perfect, you know what he does? He works in silence. And I love that about him a lot. I mean, he works and does his business in silence and let everybody bitch about him, and then they let everybody compliment him. And I've never heard him say anything to the contrary. If he has, I've missed it. That's why I believe he can. I think he's over the hump of what happened in last year's playoffs, and I think he's just never made an excuse and never, oh gosh, I got to do this, and they should have done this. It's always me and we, and I couldn't be more proud of the guy because I can't begin to tell people how hard it is to have everybody in the world thinking you are a major bust. There are some that still don't believe in it. Well, remember what happened last year? And Sam's never bought into it, and it has served him well, and it served Minnesota well. They should not have let him walk, and it serves Seattle well. What a great get. What's he making, $35 million? I want to talk about a bargain in this league, considering who we pay.
Sure.
I'm just a big fan, and I'm more a fan of the way the teammates respond to him and the way he responds to all the stuff of getting kicked in the teeth. The guy's been special.
Sean, can you put into perspective what we just watched on Monday night with Indiana running the table and Indiana winning a championship in football? Unbelievable.
You're never going to see a turnaround like that in any program in the history. We thought Vanderbilt was good, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and I mentioned them on Monday. Great job there.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yes.
We thought Vanderbilt was pretty good, and we've looked at some other schools and say, man, they're pretty good. We've seen Duke. They play pretty good football now. Always been a basketball school. Duke's got to play pretty good football at Kentucky. Exactly. But this is different. This isn't fake. People can say all they want, buy-in championships, all they want. So they got buy-in. Their staff is outstanding. They don't deviate from the plan, but they don't back off from their aggressiveness, as we saw throwing back shoulders on fourth down, a low percentage throw, and the kid making two of those catches. Mendoza's effort on fourth down, not just to get the first down and think, well, we're just trying to get points, but to make the effort to get in the end zone so they get that extra cushion of 4 more points. I mean, and the way Signetti has them buying into guys, listen, you couldn't name 5 players on their roster going into the season. I mean, most of us, as much as we watch football,
right.
You'd say, who's the right guard again? Oh, I know the big center, the transfer, but what's that wide receiver's name again? Or what? You would. And here they are. And the quarterback's howdy. I'm talking about all of us. I'd have to call Herb Street and say, Kurt, did you know who the starting strong safety was for Indiana? Let me think. He'd have to think, and he's on it all the time. I just am fascinated with they get production everywhere. And they didn't get to the point where, while everybody else told them that they were the underdog or that, not in this game, but you're not supposed to be able to do this. They just kept playing. And that's the sign of discipline, well coached, buy-in. And the quarterback, listen, everything, the quarterback is a goofy, howdy-doody, he just is. But I love him. How could you not love him and his family? The guy's up there, he's giving motivational speeches on his post-game interview. I mean, the guy is, and I think he believes it. And most guys, you say, come on, this is fake. For him, he's just kind of a dork. And I mean that affectionately, and I love it. He's accurate. They don't ask him to throw it 40 times a game, but he can if he needs to. They're just so good at not beating themselves. You see it a lot in basketball and football. I always love teams that you're going to have to beat Indiana to beat them. And listen, why not next year? Now, if happen to find another quarterback, let's get a transfer, and that helps them. But, I think Signetti, the way he's turned around, you're never going to see a school that was off the map football-wise, and in 2 years turned it around to a playoff team and a national champion, and undefeated at 16-0. Yeah, you're never going to see. It's the greatest college football turnaround as a team in the history of the game. Yeah. And you're never going to see it like this again.
Great stuff, Sean. Appreciate the heck out of you, buddy. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll chat with you next week.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for always having me on.
You're the best. Sean Salisbury, great stuff. We'll react to what he had to say. That's next year on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort is all about keeping you comfortable at home. And when your sewer system backs up or the toilet suddenly won't flush, that's not comfortable. Sierra Pacific's expert plumbers are always ready to deal with household plumbing emergencies. We'll come out and solve the problem, no problem. Expert plumbing service anytime at SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Looking for the perfect spot to watch the game and enjoy amazing food and drinks? Look no further than Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Family owned and operated, Fieldhouse is passionate about creating a fun, welcoming atmosphere for everyone. Spice things up on Tuesdays with Taco Tuesday. Buy any order of our delicious tacos and get a refreshing margarita for just $6. On Wednesday, Fieldhouse features incredible drink specials. Enjoy $5 well drinks and ice cold pints all day long. Fieldhouse was voted the #1 sports bar in Sacramento. Tons of TVs, a mouthwatering menu, and daily specials. It's the perfect sports bar to catch all the action. Visit us today at 1833 Fulton Avenue. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, where the food is fantastic, the drinks are flowing, and the good times never stop. Fieldhouse, bring it to the house.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. GUBRUDS.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Always great to talk with Sean Salisbury. I love the fact that he's been there, lived it. He knows what it's like. He knows what Jarrett Stidham is going through. He did it. Not in a championship game, but a playoff game. Great perspective. You don't get that too many places. Somebody that played the position in the NFL, was a backup for a lot of his career in the NFL. And so he can relate to exactly what is going on with the Denver Broncos. And in following Sean Payton and having talked to him before, I can almost guarantee you that Sean Payton is telling Stidham exactly what Sean Salisbury said to us. It's tremendous perspective from Salisbury. Love that. And Sam Darnold as well, when he came out of USC, taken third in the 2018 draft by the Jets, and then trying to find a home in Carolina, back up with San Francisco. Really good year a year ago, 14 wins with Minnesota, fails in the playoffs, out the door. We're going to hand the keys to J.J. McCarthy, who was injured last year and allowed Darnold to even have the season that he did. And then for him to go to Seattle and play this way, it's a heck of a story. It really is. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Rhino, I love talking with Sean because he's lived so many of these situations. It's great perspective.
Yeah, he's talking about also the Indiana team, and he's like, wait, maybe I'll call up Herbie and figure out who that strong safety is. He's that connected and that good. I love it.
Yeah, he is unbelievably connected. Love having him on. Don't forget the Kings and the Raptors are coming your way tonight. That means that Jerry Reynolds, Ryan at Sacktown, yours truly, will be on right after the game on YouTube and X. Hope you can join us to talk about hopefully a better performance than last night, although I'm not really expecting that. I'm just not. I think it's going to be another long night, but, Toronto played last night. We'll see. Again, no Sabonis tonight. I guess they're calling it I don't know what you want to call it.
Doug was just asked about this, and is it going to be a regular part of, handling Sabonis going forward? And he says he doesn't expect it to be, it's part of the injury plan or the return plan, but
decision-based.
Here's what I'm going to say, Grant. I have been around Doug enough this season to see his mannerisms and the way he talks, the way he reacts to certain things he's comfortable with, things he's not comfortable with. He does not look comfortable talking about this Sabonis situation. He doesn't.
Well, he shouldn't be comfortable because he's handled it about as poorly as you can handle it.
And he doesn't sound particularly confident when talking about it. Very similar to the Mike Brown thing.
I do say this, Rhino. I don't buy the issue on the back-to-back. We're taking care of the knee. He only played 70. He played less than 17 minutes last night.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I said it earlier in the show. I'm with you, partner.
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk to you about DAS Mechanical, and I love talking about this company because they're so good at what they do when it comes to HVAC and your heating and air conditioning system, whether it's an HVAC retrofit service, they're specialists. That's what they do. And they do it so well that it's no surprise to me when I look at all of their 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards. Those don't happen by accident. They happen because you do the job at a top-notch level. And that's DAS Mechanical. Again, HVAC retrofit and service specialist, family-owned and operated, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. Homeowners, businesses for commercial maintenance, it's all there for you. And yes, of course, they do new systems as well. And keep in mind, as we're now in the dead of winter and it is chilly in the nighttime, yes, it is. And if you happen to have your heating system not work, if you need service, they have 24/7 emergency service at dasmechanical.org. That's D as in dog, A-S as in Sam, mechanical.org. Keep them in mind. They will be there for you. They're awesome. Again, dasmechanical.org. You can book everything right there online. It's so simple. And yes, you will know everything they're doing. They will inform you every single step of the way. No mystery. Everything's laid out. You'll have a full understanding of what they're doing. dasmechanical.org. Book online. Look at their 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards. We'll wrap up the show when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
If 2026 is the year that you become the very best version of you, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center welcomes you. SAC Naturopathic Medical Center is in the business of helping you live your best life every day, regardless of your age. As we get older, it's normal to experience things like a loss of energy, maybe even some occasional brain fog, or not feeling motivated to do things. We may also experience a loss of libido, or ED. It's normal as we get older and usually easy to treat. Dr. Dennis Godby is an accomplished author and a national healthy aging advocate. When he's not busy practicing medicine, this doctor, who is knocking on the door of 70 years young, does solo marathon hikes across the United States on foot to promote quality health care. When it comes to aging gracefully, Dr. Godby literally walks the talk. Schedule your free healthy aging consultation today at gettingbetternow.com.
Do you need new tires? Have you been putting it off? Don't wait any longer. Get the best in tires today and save. Get to Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, Sacramento. For the best selection of Bridgestone and Firestone tires, all on sale and on-site ready for your car or truck, get to Expert Tires and Brakes to save big on sets of Bridgestone and Firestone tires. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, Sacramento. Expert Tires and Brakes, the best place for tires and brakes.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
Decisions determine results. So which path do I want to take? Help people in need or stand on the sidelines watching? Worry about how to pay for school or have my education paid for? Push myself and learn new skills or stay the same? My decision is to serve part-time with the Army National Guard, and my results will be life-changing. What will you decide? Go to NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters.
Final segment. Been a good show today. Appreciate all the interaction. Kings, Raptors tonight. What are you thinking for the game tonight? Is it going to be competitive? Is the game going to be close? Are the Kings going to come out and be handsy? What do you think, folks? Rhino, what do you think? What kind of game do you think we're going to see tonight?
Not a great one. I don't.
I'm with you.
Unfortunately. I think the guys are going to be a little bit tired. You're going to be leaning more on Dylan Cardwell in Max tonight. You'll probably see some Drew minutes here and there. I think it's going to be slow and methodical. But the only thing that gives me a little bit of hope, Grant, is 145 points last night. It's a lot of points. Can they shoot that well again 2 nights?
No, I don't think so. I don't expect them to score 145 points. Although, if the Kings play the way they did last night, then maybe, right?
It very well could be. I mean, here's what I would say. I think Zach LaVine, and I've said it over the past few games, he has really tried to find a way to get himself going. You've seen him go into the hoop more and having better success there. Last night, he was going. This has not been a one-game thing. This has been multiple games. I think he's going to be super aggressive. If I did have to make a prediction, the Kings were going to win. I think Zach LaVine has a big night tonight.
Yeah. I wanted to get back to something you said as we went into the break, and I just watched Doug Christie answering a question about Domantas Sabonis, and I would agree with you. He did not look comfortable in answering that.
No.
He did
Doug,
not look comfortable.
You know Doug better than I do, but
yeah,
that looked very uncomfortable.
He looks stressed. It looks. Listen, I understand that his seat right now is not a fun one to be in. I get that, but he did not look. I'm looking at his hands on his arms and moving, and he just looked very uncomfortable.
There was a lot of processing to me when I'm watching Doug. When he's just rolling, he's rolling. But when he's processing, you can tell. And it looked like he was processing through a lot on an answer that should have been very fundamental and easy. Yes, this is something we're going to do from this point forward. No, it's not something we're going to do. We're talking about rest management. We're not talking about Sabonis starting, etc.
Yeah. Well, Again, if you're joining us late and you're on your way to the game, Sabonis is not playing tonight due to rest on the knee. So he will accompany the team tomorrow, obviously. And the Kings play the first of a long road trip Friday in Cleveland. Grant, which Kings players do you think has played their last home game with this long road trip coming up? Their next home game is February 4th. I'm with Ryan. I think maybe Keon Ellis. I'm with you, Rhino.
Yeah. Especially with Jimmy Butler going down, he's going to be more attractive to the Warriors if they're going to try to do a couple of small things. You could do that. The Lakers have interest. The Knicks certainly have interest with the difficulties they've had on defense. It's just a matter of who's willing to give up that late first-round pick.
Malik Monk, bold prediction of the day. Bold prediction of the day. Malik Monk going to be on the team February 6th?
Yes, he will.
Okay, why are you saying that?
Because I've heard there's been a change from people that I trust, a little bit of a change of opinion with Malik and what he can do both behind the scenes, but what he does more importantly on the court, both offensively and bringing the rookies along. I think the value is now being seen a little bit more than it was before.
And how could that possibly be? It's not like he was new this year. It's not like he's a player that was added. It's not like we haven't already known about Monk. Maybe Scott Perry could say that, but Doug Christie wouldn't be able to say that. Doug's been with him since day one when
Correct.
he came here from the Lakers. I just don't understand how that conclusion could be made that we got to this point.
I would lean, it goes back to what I said a couple of weeks ago, what I was told that they were looking to cut money in the wrong places. And I think it did come from Scott Perry. I think Scott Perry saw a $7 million difference between him and Dennis Schroeder. Now you have a good sample size of Dennis Schroeder, and you know there's a significant difference of what those two players bring to that group when they're on the floor.
Unbelievable. All right. Again, if you want to call the show, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Kings, Raptors tonight. And again, we'll have the post-game show right after with Jerry Reynolds, Ryan and Sacktown, and myself over on YouTube and X. Tomorrow, Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com. We'll go get you ready for the championship games coming up on Sunday. I'm also going to talk to Chris on his draft board at LandryFootball.com and see who he thinks will be the name mentioned for the Las Vegas Raiders in April's NFL draft. Is it going to be Fernando Mendoza, Ryan? You think he's going to go number one to the Raiders?
I don't see how you go away from him unless you trade that pick. But Grant, I don't know that I'm ready for like Mel Kiper season. And
it's there.
I know.
It's Mel Kiper season.
I know. 79 mock drafts. I will say,
it's there.
I will say this. I do enjoy the NFL draft probably more than I enjoy any of the other drafts. How about you?
Why is that?
There's more rounds, but there's a little bit more strategy to me because you have more picks and more players and you can find value in different places. Now, the NBA is changing a little bit in that sense because teams are drafting more subjectively than objectively the last couple of years. But yeah, I like the NFL draft, the first 3 rounds.
I would say, and I'm not speaking for you, I'm speaking for the majority of football fans in America, that once the draft gets into the 20s or 33, 34, 35, the beginning of the second round, most of the fans couldn't tell you anything about the players being drafted. That's my experience.
Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. Maybe that's part of the presentation, why you stick around. You see 500,000, 1 million people packing around Lambeau Field and in Lambeau Field to attend the draft, and they're going city to city. So they keep your attention a little bit better than I think the NBA does.
All right. So who will be the first player taken in the draft. Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com tomorrow. We'll talk about that and more. Again, the Kings and the Raptors, both teams played last night. Toronto putting 145 on the board, and the Kings giving up 130, including 77 in the first half. So I don't know if the Kings right now have checked out. I personally feel that the locker room, just based on being in situations like this in the past and seeing how the Kings are treating their most prized possessions, which are the veterans, and namely Malik Monk earlier in the season and now Domantas Sabonis, I don't think that's a good environment. Sabonis is loved and respected by every member of the Sacramento Kings. And I think when the organization dumps on him like this, I think it has a domino effect, and I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good.
No,
I really don't.
We talked to Jerry about this as well last night on the post-game show. You know, Doug Christie can tell them we want to run this play and we want to do that, but you see a distinct difference in the styles of play a lot of times between a full bench unit versus the starters mixed in with some bench guys. And I got to think when you have maybe Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, DeMar DeRozan calling their own numbers or feeling like that's a mismatch, so they're going to attack it, that style of basketball is not always conducive for a locker room either. And you can see when the Kings go into that mode.
No question. Here's an interesting question on the text line. If the Kings don't trade some vets and they start trending in the 7th to 10th pick in the draft, would you agree this season was a failure? Yes. If they don't have a top 4 pick in the draft this year, other than a couple of players right now, Max Reynaud being one, Dylan Cardwell being another, I'm not ready to say on Nick Clifford yet, but as a whole, yes, I think it would be a failure. You got to have a top 4 pick this year, Ryan. You're 12-32, and you have the worst net rating in the conference. Yeah, you better get a top 4 pick in the draft. That's your best chance of getting out of the basement in the NBA.
Grant, I think there's an argument to be made unless it is a top 4. To me, it needs to be higher unless it's like the top 1 or 2 picks.
Why do you say that?
Because this was supposed to be the season we found out more about Devin Carter. This was supposed to be the season we knew if Keegan was going to be able to make that step offensively. This was going to be the season that we thought we would see Nick Clifford get extended runway. Can he handle the ball? So at least we had an idea of the different parts that you're working with. But I just feel like with Russell Westbrook, and yes, I know he's being celebrated tonight for the all-time scorer as a point guard, but it's thrown such a wrench into, it's almost paused this thing, this whatever it is, rebuild, because normally with rebuilds, you see young players playing like you saw in Washington, and we have not seen that.
You mean like a Devin Carter?
Yes. Devin Carter's a good one. Nick Clifford, I would still throw in there. I mean, Keon Ellis, we know he's probably not going to be here, but he was on the list. We're going to come away from this season with those guys paused. You're going to have the exact same questions next season that we had at the start of this season because of the absorbent minutes for some of these vets.
Very well said. And we'll talk more about this on our post-game show tonight. Will the Kings head out on the road with a win to cap off the longest homestand of the season? Or will they head out onto the road with their 3rd consecutive loss after really starting their homestand on a very good note? So let's talk about that real quickly before we sign off, because we've got like 2 minutes, 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
The Kings began this homestand, 7 games, with 4 straight wins. Houston, the Lakers, the Knicks, and Washington. If they lose tonight, how do you sum up this homestand?
I mean, you still have to sum it up positively.
Yes.
When
agreed.
It comes to the play. But if we're going to talk about the team as a whole, it's a mess.
Yes. Thank you. I would agree 100%. Record-wise, positive. Okay. But as a whole, right now, it does look like a mess. I think that sums it up very well. And again, the road trip coming up, Cleveland, Detroit, the Knicks are going to be looking for payback, and they are in a mess right now. Mike Brown is on the hot seat already. Then you'll see VJ Edgecombe in Philadelphia. And then Boston the very next night. And Boston is one of the surprise teams in the NBA this year. And then a matinee, I shouldn't say a matinee, earlier start. Not that bad. They're on the East Coast, 6 o'clock start. I could see them lose to Washington. They lost there last year. But we'll see, folks. We'll see what happens tonight. Again, if you're on your way to the game, I hope you at least enjoy it. I hope it's competitive. I hope they compete for you. I mean, that's what you should expect and demand, which I don't think you got the other night. Allowing 77 points in the first half. And, it wasn't just the fact that Miami made threes. There was a lot more to it than that. The Heat were able to get wherever they wanted to on the floor. Dribble penetration, one pass, late rotations. I mean, it just wasn't there. And by the way, Toronto's a good team. They're better than I thought they were going to be this year. And I thought we got a glimpse of that in the preseason when we saw Toronto in the preseason. And here we are in the regular season now. And again, I look at, we're past the halfway point now. The sample size is not a fluke. And I've been very impressed with Toronto. I mean, they're fourth in the East at 26-19. And here's the other deal. They're pretty good on the road. They're 13-9. Speaking of the Knicks, they are rolling at the half after getting booed off the floor by Dallas. They're playing Brooklyn, and they're up at the break 60-38. Talk to you tonight over on YouTube and X after the Kings game. And then back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Chris Landry from LandryFootball.com. My thanks to Sean Salisbury for joining us on the show today. My thanks to you for your support and following us here on the Grant Napear Show. For Rhino in Sacktown, this is Grant Napear saying so long and thanks for listening to Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye.
The new year is here, a fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear, and they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779